horrible. But I think it was lost a little bit before then. Some people think it was lost when Sam Darnold fumbled the ball. Some people think it was lost when they didn't go for it on 4th and 1. When to you was the moment this game was lost?
Y'all going to hate this because I'm a ball player, man. I never just point to one situation and say, that's where you lost the game. Excuse me, your boy's a little sick today, so you have to bear with me. But I never look at one situation and say, oh, it was that play. Oh, it was that play. Football is an accumulation of events that happen that lead to a climax. And the climax in this situation were two, right? It's Tungus getting that touchdown, and then it was Sam Darnold fumbling that football, depending on how you look at it. There are a bunch of ways you can go with this. And I was up early this morning. I'm up at like maybe 5 o'clock. The film dropped. I watched all the offensive plays. I watched all the defensive plays. And I'm watching the individual battles that go down in a football game. And the Hawks had, like 50-something plays to the 49ers 70-something plays. So essentially there's 130 opportunities to influence the game. So when was the game lost? At the end of the game when it struck 0. That's when you lost the game. When you're down 17-13. But there are some events that stand out that contributed to the final score 17-13. Offensively for the Seahawks, my gripe with them would be that some of their runs were so predictable. It's like, all right, well, we're heavy right. Oots is to the right. We got 2 tight ends to the right. We're running the ball to the right side. Oh, we got heavy left. Oots is to the left. 2 tight ends to the left. We're running to the left side. I only saw maybe 2 or 3 gap scheme type of runs where you block down, you pull a guard or whatnot, but we knew they were going to be zone heavy. So offensively, I'm looking at the way that the 49ers are playing against this the Seahawks offense, and they can almost predict what's going to happen because of just the formation. Yeah, you do your motions or whatnot, but 9 out of 10 times the Hawks are going to run the football to the strong side. They picked up on that, and that 49ers D-line did their thing. Offensively for the 49ers, many opportunities you had to get Brock Purdy on the ground. He's elusive. He gets out of there. He drops a dime, and you're going across the field, and you're using the deception that we talked about when it comes to this 49ers offense. They were more deceiving than the Seahawks were. So there were a bunch of events that led to the loss. You can point at it. I know we're going to talk about Reek Willen. Everyone's on Reek Willen's head. You should be. You got to make some plays. They're going to talk about that fumble by Sam Darnold. To me, O-line gets pushed back. Nick Bosa was whooping our O-line's butt all day. They wasn't just that one play. You go back and watch it. Cross got some. Abe got some. Whoever. Tight ends got some. I was reminded how good Nick Bosa was. Also, Fred Warner was everywhere making plays. So I don't look at one play and say, that's why you lost the game. But I can understand why people highlight some of these plays.
And I'm going to here for the purposes of trying to find out like what the big issue was with this game. Now, this is one option as to when they lost the game. It's quite literally the last time they possessed the ball before Darnold fumbled.
Darnold takes the shotgun snap, looks, fires, ball comes off his hand. Is it a fumble? Is it an incomplete pass? If it's a fumble, the Niners recover ball game. The ball, I believe, was tipped away from Darnold as he was rearing back to throw. As the pressure got in there to Sam Darnold. Ball hits the ground. Bosa recovers, and that's going to do it.
Mike Saul was making an interesting point this morning on their show Bump when he said, look, I get all the things that Reek Willen did wrong, but ultimately quarterback is the highest paid and most important position in sports for a reason. As quarterback, you cannot 6 yards away from the end zone fumble that ball. Now, I know that for you, you're like, I mean, Bosa's manhandling Abe Lucas right now. Like, he is pushing him into Darnold. Lucas knocks that football, falls out of Darnold's hands, and you lose the game ultimately in that moment in the trenches, not just at quarterback. But what did you think of Mike's point being like, look, man, it may not be fair, but you can't have Sam Darnold do nothing. As quarterback, sometimes you have to win a game. You are driving. You are driving right now to win this game. You are 6 yards out. You have to win.
I understand that take, but I hate it. This is where Sam messed up there. He was reading the wrong guy. If you look at Cooper Kupp going across the middle, he's butt naked on a Saturday, and he makes a move on Fred Warner. Sam was ISO to the left side. He's not going to see that. You got to, I guess, try to feel it. But this is a team sport. Mm-hmm. You're banking that your tackle is going to take care of business and allow you to make that play. Abe Lucas got taken to the water, and you are paying him to make that play. You're paying Abe Lucas to block. You're paying receivers to get open. That was something else I saw when we went man, or when the 49ers went man against the Seahawks. There was not a lot of separation. The only one getting a little bit of separation was JSN. Kupp wasn't getting separation. Horton wasn't getting separation. The tight ends weren't getting separation.
And this is not supposed to be an elite secondary, by the way.
No. But I think they're better than what they're better than what I thought they were going to be. That's for sure, though. But not considered elite. You can point at Sam Darnold for having to make that play. I can understand why you do that. But you just paid Abe Lucas $40 million to make that play. Sam can't block. Bosa, that ain't his job. His job is to make the throw. My criticism with Sam would be I probably wouldn't have gone there. And I don't know what his progression is. I don't know in that situation what his coaches are teaching him where to go. But I'm looking at Cooper Kupp going across the middle. He's wide open. And maybe if you do go there, you see that pressure from Abe instead of feeling it, and you slide a bit and you make the play.
I want to go back a little bit before that drive. And it's the 49ers' last drive, and it's not even the touchdown. I know everyone's upset about that touchdown. I have heard every single argument, mostly just, it's a third-string tight end. What are you doing? He shouldn't have that ball. Reek Woolen, what are you doing? You're being selfish, looking for the football. I don't know. Whatever the arguments are, and I totally get it. This is when I felt the dagger.
Purdy wants to throw on second down. Pump fakes. Now he looks. Now he throws down the far sideline. Getting out there is Pearsall. He makes the catch. As the ball is kind of misplayed by Reek Woolen. I think he just lost track of it. He said the receiver pushed off of him, but there's no flag down, and Kobe Bryant has to come over and knock Pearsall out of bounds. A 45-yard gain.
Worst play of the game to me. And I know that's stupid. I understand it's not that simple, but for the purposes of having like a spicy debate about this game, this is 2nd and 9 right now. You force an incompletion, they're facing 3rd and 9, and you have a chance to take over with, at that point, around 3 minutes remaining in the game. March your way down the field slowly, be able to run the ball a little bit. It's just, this to me was kind of the unforgivable sin of that drive. Reek Woolen getting caught up. And yes, Ricky Pearsall's nice. That was good. That was a good play by San Francisco. But I don't know a single head coach or defensive coordinator that could convince me that a 45-yard play allowed by your defense wasn't their worst play.
Yeah, it was the biggest play of the game.
Biggest play of the game.
Yeah, so statistically, yeah, it makes sense. And Reek's got to make that play. The jacked up part is he's in position. Like, Pearsall runs a double move. Reek bites on it a little bit, but then recovers. He's in position to make the play, and he's looking for the football, and he slows down. He's got to track that, man. There's no really excuse for that. Reek, you are considered one of the more physically gifted corners in this game. You have to make that play, or at least make it more difficult for Pearsall to make that play because you're in position. If he were out of position, it'd be a totally different story. But because we saw him there, he doesn't read the ball, doesn't track it, and Pearsall does give him a little nudge, but that happens on almost every pass play. If you look at it, there's some contact there. So you combine him not tracking it with that little nudge by Pearsall, you get the biggest play of the game to set up the Niners to win.
Speaking of setting them up to win, what did you see on that touchdown, that final touchdown by the 49ers? I saw Brock Purdy doing what he does. Buying himself some time, buy some time, flowing to his right side, throwing it up, and giving his tight end an opportunity to win the game. Here's the physics behind this whole thing. Reek Woolen is moving to his left. Brock Purdy is throwing across his body, so it's slightly inside of Reek Woolen. Reek Woolen is drifting a bit, puts his hands up, but doesn't attack it. It's almost as if Reek thought the ball was going to be thrown to him. You never assume the ball is being thrown to you. Why? Because you're on defense. You are taught to attack the football. That's what Tungus did. He attacks the football. It just looked like Reek was the receiver when really he was the DB. Again, you're paid to make that play. Yeah. The
physics behind it, I get it, you're drifting and all that. Okay, all right. But you are expected to make that play, and I'm sure Reek expects to make that play himself. That's what it came down to, man. The Niners made more 50-50 plays than the Seahawks made. When there's a third down where Cooper Kupp has to make a 50-50 play, he drops the football. There's a third down where Christian McCaffrey's running an angle going across the middle, getting hit, he makes the play. This is the NFL. If you look at most of the games, I think 10 out of the 14 games that were played this weekend were one-score games. This is the NFL. Anyone who expects blowouts every weekend, go watch college football. You get your blowouts there. For the most part, the NFL is going to come down to guys making the 50-50 plays because they're well coached and they're one of the best, or they're the best athletes in the world, in my opinion. That's, to me, if we want to kind of sum it up, 50-50 plays. This was a divisional battle. This was a close game, not what I expected, but as the game progressed, you saw that the Niners were well coached. They were ready to go. I mean, they are slanting when they're supposed to slant. They are getting to the backfield. They are corralling the quarterback. And the Hawks made plays too. It just came down to a few that people are going to spotlight, and you should. but it's a culmination of a whole bunch of plays that went down.
Did the Seahawks look like a team that was still figuring it out? Because the one issue I have with that is that this defense is pretty much exactly, with the exception of adding Nicky Manwari and DeMarcus Lawrence, the defense that was there last year. You should hit the ground rolling defensively. And I thought for the most part they did. I know that there were some issues with this performance. It wasn't perfect, but after that first touchdown, which is George Kittle against Ty Okada, because Manwari is out of the game at that point, they didn't allow another touchdown for 3 quarters up until obviously that last and final costly play. I argued it was the 45-yard pass that really blew this open, but it was a solid, I thought, day defensively. And I know it feels stupid to say that when that's what cost you this game, but it felt like a team that was figuring it out, maybe still in construction.
No, it was a solid day. I mean, San Francisco rushed for, on average, 3.3 yards per carry. Christian McCaffrey had 22 carries for 69 yards and long of 13. You did a decent job against him. Pass game, this is where he kind of hurt you a bit more. 9 receptions for 73 yards. Christian McCaffrey touched the ball dang near or more than 30 times. No, I think defensively they did okay. You got 2 interceptions. You want to put more pressure on the quarterback. Only 1 sack there, but then on the flip side, Sam Darnold was only sacked 1 time as well. When you lose the game by 4 points, you're in the game. You had an opportunity to win.
Mm-hmm.
That's all you want. Now, we can break down all the little things, right? The Rick Woolen not making plays, the fumble by JSN, the fumble by Sam Darnold, not being able to get after Brock Purdy. Yeah, that's going to happen in a ball game. End of the day, you want an opportunity to win, and you had an opportunity. I'm just interested in what the game would have looked like with Nick Manwari in there. Like, because you watch that touchdown against George Kittle. He's taking inside leverage. George Kittle's going out. You know, it's just the awareness there. I'm sitting there with Paul Moyer, and we're breaking this play down, and Paul's upset. Like, why are you taking inside leverage there? You know he's going to go out. Just the little things that either win or lose you the game, and it starts to pile up and pile up and pile up. And at the end of the day, it's who can overcome their mistakes. San Francisco turned the ball over 2 times, and they were able to overcome. San Francisco missed a chip field goal, and were able to overcome that. On the flip side, you got 2 fumbles by the Seattle Seahawks, and the inability to make the 50-50 plays and be where you're supposed to be. It came down to the wire.
I want to talk a little bit about identity before we jump into headline rewrites here. From the 253, they still only gave up 16 points. And it's a fair point to make about the defense. I mean, the 49ers 17-13. If you held teams to like 17 or fewer every single week, you'd be one of the very best defenses in football. So, like, yes, you'd be a top 5 scoring defense for sure. However, I go back to kind of the formula of this team. This is a team that wants to set the tone by their defense and is probably going to need to win by virtue of their defense. And I think that affords fewer mistakes by the defense.
I think right now, it's week 1. You don't want to hear, just like people don't want to hear, oh, there's lots of baseball left. It is week 1, all right? So we have now had an opportunity to see where this team is strong and where they're weak and try to figure out where they can get better. And that's what the coaches are going to do. They're going to look at, I guarantee you, Kubiak's going to look at his offense and say, all right, how can I build off of what I'm doing? How can I be less predictable? This is the journey of a regular season, is that it's a battle to figure some things out. Like the Steelers, Aaron Rodgers threw four touchdowns this week. 4 touchdowns. He's going to have a game where he throws 2 interceptions and no touchdowns. You know, so I understand the frustration with people. You're a fan. You feel that frustration. You do what you got to do. Me, I'm not in panic mode yet because I'm all about how they adjust. I'm going to give them the opportunity to adjust. Now, if we come out, we see the same things. Not getting after the quarterback, not capitalizing on turnovers, predictable when you're running the football. Then, okay, then we start to trip a little bit. Week, 3, 4, something like that. But right now, yeah, I'm disappointed. You could have won this ball game. You didn't win the ball game. There's some plays to be made. This is why you pay coaches to coach and players to adjust.
Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrite.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bubba and Stacy.
Mariners put up 28 runs across 2 wins over the Atlanta Braves to take their first series of an otherwise tough road trip. What's the real headline?
The Mariners saved all their offense for a day the Seahawks had none.
We appreciate that.
If they were to just give the Seahawks their runs that day for points, they could have beat the 49ers.
They could have.
They outscored both teams.
I'm just glad they gave me something to cheer about. You know, I'm traveling. I'm obviously covering the game. I'm frustrated. And they gave me something to smile about. You know, you got Julio continue to being hot, man.
Breaking.
Man, 30 bombs this year. He's going to reach the 30-30 club. You got Cal doing his thing. We needed this, especially this weekend.
I wonder how many stolen bases Naylor's going to finish with the season. Like, what if they have multiple, not just 25-25, multiple 30-30? This is, on paper, I know how deeply frustrating the road trip has been. On paper, a crazy offense in terms of some of the mix of power they have.
EY Jr. is a magician. Like, the stuff that he's doing with these guys, he's got the big boys running.
Got some good trust in his guys.
Yeah.
Headline rewrites.
Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and the Raiders allowed just 13 points from the Patriots in their victory yesterday. What's the real headline?
What happens in Vegas not only doesn't stay in Vegas, it also comes back to haunt you in week one. Now, Bump, I know playing the Patriots is a bit different than playing the 49ers. Credit at least to the Raiders for this one. The 13 points allowed are their fewest in a season opener since 2000.
Yeah, good for Geno, man. 24-34, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, 360. They took care of business on the road, and I was happy to see that. Brock Bowers had a day, 5 receptions for 103. But we know New England is a work in progress, and so are the Las Vegas Raiders. But if I had to give anyone the nod, I would have gone with the Raiders just because of Geno, because of Brock Bowers, and because of Pete Carroll. They've been there, they've done that, and let's see how they build off. You got the Chargers coming up next, so they knocked off the big dogs.
Do you think it's at all, I know I hinted at it with the headline rewrite, do you think it's unfair to compare these two teams this year? I think it'll just naturally happen, especially, let's say, if the Seahawks fall to the Steelers and the Raiders win game 2, even though they're in entirely different situations and will be playing different teams there. I wonder if just naturally the conversation, particularly nationally, will start to become, oh, you shouldn't have moved on from Geno. Or do you think that oversimplifies it?
I think it's too early. If anyone's saying that right now, it's too early. But if you go a few weeks in and Geno's lighting it up, it's definitely going to be a conversation. But we got to remember that Geno and John weren't on the same page. And sometimes it's better just to let people go rather than try to force a situation.
Headline rewrites.
The Bills scored 16 unanswered to stun the Ravens and get a win in Sunday Night Football. What's the real headline?
Let me tell you what, no one does regular season wins quite like the Bills. They are so good at this.
That's crazy. I stopped paying attention low key because I thought the game was over.
So did some Bills fans. They were leaving the stadium.
That's nuts. But you got the MVP over there. These two quarterbacks probably give us the most explosive games we've seen over the past 3 or 4 seasons. The one-handed catch by Hopkins was stupid. Lamar had a day. Henry had a day. But Josh Allen, man, he's got that will. You are never out the game if you got 17 over there.
What did you make? I'm not sure if you saw it, but I saw Van Lathan retweet it, and it was a tweet by Colin Cowherd that was getting a bit of attention. He said, Buffalo has an all-time QB talent. This was at a time that Buffalo was clearly trailing, but the Ravens have the better roster. And Van Lathan said, this enraged me. Because it's like, what do you mean? As though the Ravens don't have a 2-time MVP on their roster. As though the Ravens don't have a top quarterback. What are you talking about? Yes, they do have the better roster. I think that's true. They also have a really good quarterback. Some people think the better quarterback, some don't. But these two are in a top 3, top 4 conversation no matter what in the league.
Yeah, when you have tier 1 quarterbacks, you're always in the game.
You know, like
even if you're down 2 or 3 scores, you are always in the game with a tier 1 quarterback because they touch the ball every play. They have the most influence on a game. And Josh Allen showed you 394 yards, 33 of 46, 2 touchdowns. My man just got married this year, won the MVP last year.
And she's so pretty.
And she's nice with it. Life is good for Josh Allen, but this is going to be. The tough part about this game is this might come down to playoff implications when it comes to home field advantage. Ravens, they might be looking back at this one at the end of the year and kicking themselves.
I know that the context of this game is kind of spoiling my question, but remove the context and just think of, okay, there's a week 2 game. Who do you want? Minute left on the clock, you need to win. Josh Allen with the football or Lamar with the football?
I mean, as of
Assume
now,
they're
it's
on the teams
Josh
they're
Allen.
on.
As of now, it's Josh Allen. I mean, he's beaten Lamar in that situation. Lamar hasn't been able to do it. I think throughout the duration of a regular season, the way I would call an offense, I want Lamar. But at some point, real recognize real, and Josh Allen is that guy.
It just felt like he could not miss, and he was taking some bold shots and making them. Ian, what about you? Who are you taking?
I would take Josh Allen too.
Yeah.
They flashed on the scoreboard last night. He broke the Bills rushing touchdown record. He broke Thurman Thomas's rushing touchdown record for the Bills as a quarterback. Like the dual threat ability that he has, I think, is criminally underrated. Like they always talk about how Lamar is the guy with his legs, but Josh Allen is equally, if not more capable, I think.
Now, what did you guys make of Lamar Jackson shoving a fan back in his seat? This was,
Don't
of
touch
course,
him.
this was, of course, with the context that this fan reached out from the stands and bopped DeAndre Hopkins on the helmet, tried to hit Lamar too. I'm not sure if he made contact, and then Lamar said, "Not on my watch. You can go sit back down."
Keep your hands to yourself.
Keep your hands to yourself. That's how I feel.
Yeah, don't touch him. I'm not mad at Lamar doing that. Y'all crazy. Do not touch him. Do not touch anybody on that football field unless they're doing a Lambeau leap, jumping into the crowd, celebrating a touchdown.
Yeah, I felt like we were making a thing out of it with, like, anytime a player in any way puts his hands on a fan, it naturally becomes like, oh, that's not cool. But it's like, man, you wouldn't on any other day step up to DeAndre Hopkins or Lamar Jackson and try to put hands on him.
Nah.
You'd be a complete coward.
You got
Well,
caught
first
up in
of
the
all, you
moment.
shouldn't, But yeah, I don't know. That got caught up with some alcohol is what he got caught up with.
I thought it was a kid at first. That looked
I
kind
couldn't
of small.
tell. Yeah, at first I thought it was like, oh, this is some 20-year-old just punk that's getting involved, but I don't know. The Mariners had another awful road trip until the offense exploded in the final two games. How much should we actually take from it, and where are the Mariners' playoff hopes sitting right now? Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill answers those questions with us next.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Gray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen. But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's like, look at this. He's always looking for extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just 1 cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 a monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at cmobile.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run!
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Is your car road trip ready? Don't get stranded. Get to Bucky's Complete Auto Repair. Bucky's has been preparing cars, trucks, and SUVs for safe, worry-free travel for over 50 years. We take care of your car with experience and good old-fashioned customer service. For all your oil changes, brakes, AC charging, and factory maintenance, choose Bucky's. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com. Bucky's, where your car feels right at home.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm fortunate to speak with someone who underwent treatment for prostate cancer in February. Dave Wyman here, joined by Tim Hunter, a lifelong local radio host. Tim, how did you hear about Swedish Cyberknife?
Well, it was this familiar-sounding voice on the radio telling me about it, and so I thought I'd investigate that. Everything I heard was what I wanted to hear, and so I reached out.
What's it like to go through the Cyberknife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's, they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It's just a matter of listening to music in headphones and trying your best not to move.
Looking back on your Swedish Cyberknife experience, what stood out?
It was too easy. It was just too easy. I went through it, and I just went, that's it?
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish Cyberknife. Go to swedish.org/cyberknifeprostate.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill talking a road trip finale and playoff hopes, joining us on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline. Gary, how's it going?
I'm fine. How are you?
Fantastic. I mean, tough to talk about a Seahawks loss, obviously, but the Mariners' offense was an absolute powerhouse against the Braves. I guess I'll start with this question. I was initially really discouraged by this road trip, really frustrated to watch a lot of the same issues over and over. With the first loss against the Braves, I was like, oh my God, they're not even going to get a series win out of this one. And then they explode 28 runs over 2 games. And there were like individual moments that were great. Castillo having a line drive off his wrist and then staying in the game, things like that. Cal with home run 53, Geno with 2 yesterday. How much can we take from this, though? Because obviously that's skewing towards something they can't repeat, but was this to you a mark of an offense that kind of got its stuff into gear or just luck?
You hope so. I don't think it's luck because I think they're certainly capable of that, especially when you look at their lineup 1 through 9. But yeah, you hope this is something that they take forward. They're not going to score 18 runs every game. That would be amazing.
Not with that attitude,
Gary. Yes, my fault. But it was it's what they're capable of. I mean, they're a lineup that's full of thunder, and they're capable of hitting 2-3-run home runs constantly. They're capable of traffic. They've been at their best this year, not only when they've hit home runs, but when they've drawn walks as well, and they drew a ton of walks in the 2 games. So in terms of back-to-back games, you hope it's a sign of things to come offensively. And you're right. You're right to be frustrated before that because it was a super frustrating road trip. It was interesting. I kind of think about it the 3 different series were all kind of different. The Tampa Bay series was just bad. They gave up a ton of runs. Their pitching got torched. It was just a bad series. Cleveland was frustrating to me because I felt like they kicked a game. Had they won that one, they would have won the series. And maybe you think about the Atlanta one differently as well, because even the game they lost to Atlanta, I thought they played well. They were facing Chris Sale, the reigning Cy Young Award winner, who looked like the reigning Cy Young Award winner. Gilbert pitched really well, which I thought was great too moving forward. It's just you got late and Spire had a bad day, which happens. So they were, a good Spire outing, possibly away from a sweep. But it was a really frustrating trip, and you just hope that it was a sign of things to come, because their margin for error, especially going into the Saturday game, was whittled to nothing. So there's a little more breathing room after a couple wins, but there's not a lot of margin for error moving forward. So I look at this homestand as a big opportunity for the Mariners, not only because I think the matchups at home are really good, but the teams the Mariners are directly competing against have at least one really tough series in this next stretch.
How would you describe Julio's season compared to his other seasons? I think he's an interesting fella. We know that over the past few years, this is how he ends the year, what he's doing now. So how would you compare this season to the ones previous?
Well, at the end of the day, it's going to be a great season again. He's going to be most likely 30-plus homers, 30-plus stolen bases, maybe 30-plus doubles as well, with excellent defense in center field. That's a great season. And it's funny because he's getting there in a similar way how he's gotten there before, with a big second-half surge. And so you always end up asking the same question, hey, what happens if he started the season that way? I mean, he's been on such a great pace. That's a hard pace to carry out through the course of the season. So that's a big ask. But it's the conversation that we have surrounding him all the time, right? Where is the ceiling exactly? Because what we've seen this past month, really in the second half, has been spectacular. And we've seen it before. We have seen the stretches where he's one of the best players in the game. And once again, he's in a stretch where he's one of the best players in the game. And so what you hope is he keeps going like this through the month of September and into the postseason, and see what hot Julio in the postseason looks like. And then we talk about next year, but it's another phenomenal end of the season for Julio.
Yeah, I think kind of echoing some of Bump's question, I go back to, it's hard not to naturally think of a lot of the criticism that he's gotten this year. And I think even then, wrapped up in any conversation about what he's doing right now is going to be, well, it would be cooler if he could do that for the first half. And I'm just thinking like, yes, undoubtedly. However, if Julio could do what he's doing right now throughout the entire year, he'd be one of the highest paid players in baseball.
Well, yeah, and the numbers would be totally off the charts. That is such a big ask. It's like, it's what I find amazing about Cal's season, for example, is when he hit double-digit home runs in the first month, I remember saying, hey, he's not going to hit double-digit home runs in the second month, because that's really hard to do. And he did.
And then I said it again.
Yeah, and then I said it again, and he did. But that's what makes an historic season, right? That's what we've seen play out. He's doing things that hitters don't do. And so asking Julio to do that for an entire season is impossible. Could there be more consistency in the first half of the season? Sure. But asking him to take like this white hot stretch and replicating that for the entire season, I think that's too much of an ask. And I understand where the frustration comes from with Julio, because he when we see him like this, he's such a great player, and he's one of the best players in baseball, truly. And I think the frustration just comes from high expectations. I think fans have high expectations. I think he has super high expectations for himself. I would just say those people having high expectations, I think, is good. Don't let that mar what is going to be a really good season again for Julio. And don't let that mar seeing what he is still a really young player and seeing what he has already done in his career, because this does not happen very often. So I would just say you can keep your high expectations. Don't take this for granted, though, because he's putting together another great season as a young player when you don't see this very often.
Hey, what do you say to people that say, well, it was the Braves? Whatever. The Braves are struggling this year. Excuse me. Me, I take wins however I can get them. I'll take a win in the parking lot against a 3-year-old, Gary. I don't care how I win. What do you say to the people who have that comment?
About the 3-year-old in the parking lot?
I'll fight a 3-year-old. I don't care.
Oh, I don't care. September, a win is a win is a win is a win. It does not matter. Hey, go ask the Dodgers the other day when they lost a series to Baltimore. In fact, the Dodgers in San Diego last week, they had gone a stretch. They went 0-8 against the Pirates, Baltimore, and the Rockies, right? 3 teams that have had bad seasons. September's weird. It's a weird month because a lot of young players on bad teams get chances, and they become factors in pennant races. It doesn't matter who you're playing. And the Braves, they faced Chris Sale in Game 1. I know Atlanta has had a bad season, but Chris Sale's really great. That doesn't take away from him being Cy Young. So, long story short, you should not care. You should not, if the Mariners beat the Cardinals in a series, you should not care that they're a 500 team. If they beat the Angels in a series, you should not care that they're a below 500 team. Mariners just want wins, and that's all that matters at this point.
We certainly don't have a magic number that's clear at this point. We can kind of guess what it might end up looking like. I think, to your point, the most obvious and best thing they can do is just continue to win. But do you think that for instance, AL West winner can get in with fewer than 90? Do you think this is going to be a battle that goes well into September? What are you kind of anticipating here in this final month in terms of the Mariners' playoff hopes?
Yeah. So, it's 2 different conversations, I think. There's the wild card conversation and the division conversation, although they seem by the day to get more muddled. So, I don't have a good feel at all on the win total and what it's going to take, just seeing how this thing has played out. Because as we've watched the Mariners, and it's been super frustrating when you're kind of in watching the Mariners every single day and the ups and the downs. They're not alone in this in the American League. Every other team has been through this same sort of thing. The Yankees are a great example. It was just a couple weeks ago, the Yankees looked like they were dead. And this thing could really go off the rails, and they could fall out of the playoff picture. And you fast forward a couple weeks, and they are really threatening Toronto for the division right now. And they could win the AL East. And that is how it's kind of been for the American League this year. And it almost feels like, you know that game when you were a kid and you had the bat and, you had the hand on top and the hand over that and the hand on the top wins. It almost feels like the hot hand at the end of this thing is going to take the division. And I know Houston has the advantage because they have the lead right now, but the Mariners have the head-to-head as well. I really think that this next stretch is the key for the Mariners, this 7 games. If they are going to punch their ticket to the postseason, if they are going to win the division, the move is now in this 7-game series, in this 7-game homestand. Because I like the matchups. At the same time, Houston is playing Toronto. They're playing Atlanta too, by the way. Hopefully they match up with Sale in that series. Kansas City has a couple of tough series, and the Rangers have Milwaukee to start. To me, this is it. This 7 games for the Mariners. The move is now.
He is Mariners broadcaster Gary Hill. Thanks, Gary. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Gary. Nice sweater.
Yeah, anytime.
I think I know what unlocked the Mariners offense this weekend. That's next.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Having talked to you after some of these games for the last year, you seem maybe a little more frustrated today.
Of course you're frustrated. We expect to win those games. And I believe we have a really good football team. It's a long season, but there's an urgency to go make it right and to get better. And this is a really critical week for us.
The Mike Macdonald Show. Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at PCF Construction. It was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She can get a deal. Book telehealth if she feel.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
The fall, well, it's a great time to reset your workouts on new stuff, and Top Fitness has some great deals going on right now. Hey, Brock Hewitt here, and you've heard me talk about working out in your home gym. It's the best. From flooring to everything that goes in that gym, like treadmills, ellipticals, and strength training systems, well, Top Fitness provides it all. Top Fitness represents the very best brands available, like Washington's own Precor, yes, the company that created the elliptical, and Inspire Fitness, the leader in strength training machines, along with so many others. Give Top Fitness your room dimensions right now, and you know what? They'll do the rest. They'll do a complete fitness room design. And right now, get 0% interest financing. Mention you heard it from me and receive an additional $100 off any new treadmill or home gym. It's no secret that everyone, from personal trainers to professional athletes, love Top Fitness. Top Fitness has locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or visit them online at topfitness.com for more info. That's Top Fitness, your best place for home fitness equipment.
When it comes to the security of your business, doubts can creep in about who you're trusting to protect it. At Bail Arm, we got you. For nearly 80 years, we've been putting our customers' minds at ease with our advanced technology and personalized support. Feeling insecure about your current security service? Visit bailarm.com today.
Tired of uneven heating, noisy systems, and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings with every system, and every system qualifies for max tax credits. Call the Comfort People at HomeComfortAlliance.com.
The Bump and Stacy Show is powered in part each day by the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law Personal Injury Lawyers. Go to pendergastlaw.com.
Does your yard need shade, privacy, or a little brightening up? Look no further than Big Trees. I'm Nancy Penrose, owner of Big Trees in Snohomish. At our 30-acre location, there are thousands of trees to choose from and knowledgeable staff, including a board-certified master arborist, to help you find exactly what you're looking for. Visit the nursery and learn more about Big Trees at bigtreesupply.com.
Beauty, privacy, instantly. Big Trees.
You've heard the saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression. Since 1926, my family's been helping local businesses make great first, second, and long-term impressions. We know how to make your company look good with quality uniforms, logoed apparel, floor mats, linens, and more. If you're paying for linen service or doing it yourself, let's have the conversation. The information and quote are free, but the savings and service can really add up. Visit suplinen.com. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
There are a lot of reasons the Mariners offense could have absolutely taken off in those final two games against the Braves. We're very excited to begin this home series against the Cardinals and see if they can carry it over. Bump, did you hear about the spell?
The spell?
Yeah, did you hear about the spell?
We talking yeah, I did hear about the spell, actually. I was driving in this morning listening to Brock and Stock. They were talking about it.
Yeah. Well, let me tell anyone who doesn't know. Mariners fan Steven, a.k.a. not, it looks like Bob Ross on X, but B0BR055 on X. He paid an Etsy witch to cast a spell on the Mariners. His request was, my wish is the Mariners can get their act together and start winning baseball games and hopefully make their way to a World Series and win. I know it seems like a little much, but I'm desperate. It was a $20 custom spell, which I think is a little pricey, and I appreciate the investment.
I thought he got a discount, though.
Like it looked like a $5.99, just like a little kind of. Maybe she was feeling very generous. So then she confirmed that she cast the spell. I think it worked.
The pitch on the way, swinging a well-hit ball deep to right field, going, and there is number 52 above the chop house in right field. Cal Raleigh, with his 52nd home run of the season, has just tied Mickey Mantle. Here's the 2-1 pitch, swinging a drive, straight away center field in deep. Harris going back, looking up, goodbye baseball, number 53 for Cal Raleigh. Next off from the way to Julio, swinging a drive, deep to left field, going, where's it gonna land? Goodbye baseball.
The magic is real. The Mariners scored 28 runs. 28 runs over the course of those two games.
So you don't believe in jinxes, but you believe in this witch casting a spell.
Sorry, how am I not supposed to believe in this Etsy witch when I saw the proof? This is science. At this point, it's science. And I know people would argue that magic and science maybe can have some overlap, but like, she confirmed she cast the spell and then both these games happen? You think that's just on accident?
I think that that's good for business for her. That's what I think. And she's going to lean into that. And whatever you believe in, you believe in. So go ahead and believe in the spell. I'll take your word for it.
Okay.
But it's nice to see them hit bombs, though.
Yeah.
I'm all for that.
Yeah. Well, it is really nice to see them hit bombs. It was nice to see Cal hit number 53. Nice to see Geno hit 2 yesterday. What's your belief level? I'm not expecting by any means, Gary's right, for the offense to continue to produce like this. They're not going to get 18 runs today against the Cardinals. But they ended the road trip on a significantly better note than last time. Last time you were swept by the Phillies. We didn't feel good about it. We felt like, oh, God, this is what a contender looks like, and you can't hang. This time around, it's not a contender, but you still took care of business, and in particular, your offense looked phenomenal. What's your optimism level at all? Did anything change because of those 2 wins?
What's the word we use to describe the Mariners constantly?
Inconsistent?
Exactly, right? They're a streaky team. So I believe this might be a streak. They might go on a run. The thing is, how long can this run happen? How hot can they stay? You don't need to be this hot. Just stay warm. Stay warm. Be competitive. So as of now, I believe that they can put together at least another series of this. Not this type of play, but some productivity.
Technically, Steven did ask the witch for a spell that would get them to and win a World Series, and she said she used her best materials for it. So, like, I'm just saying, I'm kind of thinking that it would include this homestand.
World Series.
If
they go to the World Series, then I'll believe in this whole deal. If they go to the World Series,
if they go to the
I'll
World
buy
Series,
in.
will you
I'm
believe
gonna
in
invest
magic?
in what's her name? Has she got a name?
Yeah, her name's Luna.
Luna?
I don't know if that's her government name.
If
but
this goes down, me and Luna are going into business, and we're gonna be millionaires.
MLB, I don't know if MLB.com did. The Mariners retweeted. It was the Etsy witch, Sarah Langs, little witch emoji. I don't know, man. At this point, much like Steven, I'm willing to do anything here to get a more exciting Mariners team to talk about.
What's the deal with the mustaches?
Oh, I don't know if it started with Brash and Woodworth or before them, but the idea was that the mustache is just like a vibe shift. You know what I mean? When you're looking for something like, do we need to burn something? Do we need to have some kind of sacrifice to like get the vibes right? So initially it was Brash, Pete Woodworth, then Cal did it. So I guess they were thinking like mustaches. Clearly mustaches are going to do this. And Cal did hit home run number 52 after getting the mustache, and they won that game 10-2. Is it the mustache? Is it the witch?
Maybe it's both.
I think it's
a
both.
combination.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a 2-for-1.
I just think that there's a little something that we can take from this. You know,
what are we taking from it? That we need to, all Mariners fans need to come together and spend some money on Luna.
I mean, I think what we can take is everyone can just chill. They're going to win a World Series. The witch said so. So I'm fine with it. But also, I think that what I'm taking from it, Bump, and I know that offenses are inconsistent, and this team is especially inconsistent. I did feel kind of encouraged by seeing that.
Yeah, you got to see it.
I don't think they're going to be a powerhouse offense, but I think it was an important reminder that A, they're still very much in this thing. B, every team behind them is also deeply flawed. And C, the teams ahead of them aren't perfect.
Yeah, it's exactly what this season has been. It's been up and down. It's been watching other teams and seeing what they're doing, who's winning, who's losing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to come down to the last week of September, guarantee it.
You think the witch would take requests for season 2 or for week 2 against the Steelers?
Probably. I bet you she made herself a few $1,000s off of this.
Easy. She's casting so many spells for the Mariners and Seahawks right now. It's crazy.
Let's go, Luna.
What can we learn from the Seahawks' best and worst plays from yesterday? Let's dive into the game next.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Gray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen. But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's like, look at this. He's always looking for extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube. Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters, $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems, and $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits, plus free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
Ooh, that face. Quantum Fiber Internet loves that face.
That's Jamila.
Hey, Jamila.
She's thinking outside the box from inside the box.
Quantum Fiber Wi-Fi keeps her meeting game strong. From the back door to the front lawn.
Rushing all of the video calls. Back to back to back video calls.
Quantum Fiber Internet blowing the soxies up all those people in all those boxes. Yay to you.
Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Additional pods may be needed to achieve Wi-Fi coverage in some locations. Limited availability. Service in select locations only.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handle employees. Lee Johnson coming out of his office as a customer asking where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, man, come with me. Let me show you. And then having him come back and not dress me down is just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, hey, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, cross the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ way is
The Lee Johnson Auto family.
Hey, it's Brock Heward. My family did it, and it saved us thousands. You got to do it. Take the First Mark Insurance Challenge. It's free. See how much First Mark can save you and how much better coverage you can get. They work for you. Go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
Hey, it's Bob Stelton here, and let me tell you about one of the best decisions I've ever made in my life. That's when I went to K2 Vision for RLE. That's refractive lens exchange. Now, Dr. Kopstein started K2 Vision with Dr. King from King LASIK, the most experienced LASIK surgeon in the Northwest. King LASIK plus K2 Vision equals freedom vision for every stage of life. No glasses, no contacts, readers, or cataracts. Now, if you're somebody that struggles with distance vision and now you always need a pair of reading glasses, K2 Vision RLE could be your perfect permanent solution to spending your good active years not needing reading glasses. And here's the cherry on top: you never develop a cataract. Now, if you're somebody like me that had a pair of readers in every room of the home, in your car, you had to bring them into the restaurant with you. Otherwise, like me, you couldn't read the menu. That has all been rectified thanks to RLE. So whether it's LASIK, EVO, ICL, or RLE, trust the most experienced team of doctors to recommend what's best for you. Schedule your free Zoom consultation today at K2VisionRLE.com. That's K2VisionRLE.com.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1-877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1-877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
For Riverside Roofing, beyond the national accolades, is a family company from right here in Marysville that's built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the roofing company you can trust. Find them at riversideroofingllc.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Giants are sticking with Russell Wilson for a Week 2 game against the Cowboys in Dallas. There was some question about whether the team would turn to rookie Jackson Dart after a bad loss to the Commanders, but head coach Brian Daboll shot that down today. The Mariners beat the Braves 18-2 in their final game of an East Coast road trip. Cal Raleigh knocked in his 53rd home run of the season, and Geno Suarez had 2 bombs of his own. They'll open a series here in Seattle against the Cardinals tonight at 6:40.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bump and Stacy.
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
Well, I didn't win the Powerball this weekend, so here I am at work on Monday looking over a Seahawks loss. That's okay, though. A lot to learn from this one, Bump. We're going to dive into the plays of the game. These are both good and bad, and you're going to look at the X's and O's. You've been watching a lot of film, and you're going to tell us kind of what you saw in each of these. So we're going to start, in fair warning, with a 49ers score. Here we go. So this one is a third down conversion, 3rd and 5 for the 49ers. Brock Purdy finds George Kittle.
3rd and goal from the 5. Purdy again from the shotgun. Slot left. Purdy looks right. Far side. Ball is caught. Touchdown Niners. Kittle on the reception. He has been the man so far in this opening quarter for the Niners. Ty Okada in there on coverage. And I got to think
But part of that is because Nick Eamon-Mori goes out early with a sprained ankle. A 5-yard touchdown makes it 6-zip 49ers.
Noteworthy point by Raves at the end there. That makes it San Francisco 7, Seattle 0. Like you said, Eamon-Mori out of the game. Ty Okada on Kittle. What'd you see?
14 plays, 95 yards. Kittle, you just got to match up. Okada has inside leverage, and that's where the 49ers really hurt the Seahawks. Were getting to the sidelines, outbreaking routes, spreading the defense, making them go left and right, and then when it's time to hit the middle of the field, using the young man Pearsall. But in this situation right here, George Kittle, being the veteran that he is, gets on Okada's outside shoulder, puts his foot in the ground, and now it's just a tough tackle for Okada to make on the goal line.
Seattle takes over after that, and their third play is an explosive one.
Slot to the near side. Jackson Smith and Jigba in the slot. Play fake. Darnold looks left, comes back right. Going to lay it up over the top. JSN makes the catch down to the 20. Knocked out of bounds near sideline. Upton Stout, the nickelback, on coverage of Jackson Smith and Jigba, who came out of his slot, picked up 21 yards, and then is pushed out of bounds on the near sidelines. In his third year, the former first-round draft choice out of Ohio State only gets better with every game.
If there are a couple positive takeaways to take from this game, and I think there are, one of them for me is that JSN can absolutely be wide receiver 1.
Yeah, he looked good right there, too. Solty out, 3 steps looking towards the quarterback, then he snaps it up a little bit, and I think Sam Darnold does a good job of guiding him to where he wants to go. Jason is looking over his right shoulder. The ball makes him look over his left shoulder, taking him into space. That's a good throw by Sam Darnold.
Kind of a fun one here. It's a 3rd and 1. Seahawks do convert it, one of 3 third downs that they're able to convert, and this one's a direct snap to A.J. Barner.
And it's a tush-push play for the Seahawks as Sam Darnold lined up deep in the backfield, and the snap went to Barner. So Barner lined up under center and took the snap and pushed ahead with a little help for a couple of yards and a first down.
What'd you see here?
Direct snap to Barner. Get low, get a push. They tried it with Milroe, kind of a delay with Milroe earlier in the game. But I like the idea because you just let one of your stronger players get that push.
All right, and they stick with the run. Zach Charbonnet, 1-yard touchdown.
Now the Seahawks come out with about 4 tight ends, it looks like. 3 tight ends and a fullback. 1st and goal from the 1. Eye backs behind Darnold. Handoff straight ahead. Touchdown! Seahawks! Zach Charbonnet from a yard out. And Zach Charbonnet hit the goal line and fell all the way 5 yards deep into the end zone. That's how big a hole he had to run through, right up the gut of the Niners defense. The Seahawks are a point away from tying it up here to start this second quarter.
This is when things were bright for me, bright and happy, feeling positive. And I remember thinking at this moment, oh, good, they're establishing an identity early. Tie the game, 7-0.
Yeah, at that point, they had 11 rushes and 3 passes. So they had a clear plan on how they want to attack this defense. 10 plays, 69 yards. Zach Charbonnet scoring a touchdown. It
was a big day for Julian Love. He got the first sack for either team. This one of Brock Purdy.
Purdy, play fake, being chased. Love gets to him. He goes down. A perfectly timed safety blitz. And Purdy goes down inside the 15-yard line. Murphy was back there as well. Mike Macdonald, who calls the defensive signals, pulled this one out of his hat, and it was a beauty. A 12-yard loss.
I feel like if the Seahawks would have won, we'd be talking about how Julian Love had a pretty solid day.
We did during the postgame show. He was our player of the game.
Yeah.
J. Love had himself a day, man, and it's unfortunate that is overshadowed by a loss, but this blitz was timely. He gets into the backfield. I believe there was a play fake. The running back wasn't able to pick up J. Love. He gets in the backfield, takes the quarterback down.
All right, Sam Darnold on the move finds Cooper Kupp.
Blitz is coming by the Niners. Throw inside. Ball is caught. Tough catch. Cooper Kupp. And you can hear the fans. A 9.5-yard gain.
I got to be honest, maybe this is wrong for me, That was one of Kupp's only targets. I expected him to be used just a little bit more. It felt very, very, very JSN heavy, with Jackson accounting for 124 of Sam's yards.
Yeah, Kupp only had 3 targets, 2 receptions for 15 yards, had an opportunity to make a play late on a 3rd down and keep things going. But I think as you start to figure out what this team can and can't do, I expect Kubiak to get him more involved. A lot of it was just because they were not winning against man. Like Cooper wasn't winning against man. JSN had a little bit of separation, but the 49ers were aggressive. They felt they could handle this receiving corps.
I thought the most praise that Kubiak drew on the day was this design run for Darnold.
So 12 seconds left on the clock, 2nd down and 10 with the ball at the 39, and Darnold's going to turn, run, far sidelines, and he's going to get the ball into field goal range. What a great call by the Seahawks. The Niners looked like they weren't expecting it at all. Seattle pulled out 2 linemen led by Abe Lucas, and they just ran to the right sidelines, picked up 9 yards. There are 7 seconds left, but it got them in field goal range for Jason Myers. Man, what a smart call.
They hit that field goal to take a 10-7 lead entering the half. What made that such a smart call?
I don't think I've ever seen that. You overload the left side, then you make it seem like you're going to pass that way. You even motion to get the eyes of the defense over there, and you go. It's a zone right essentially with your quarterback with nobody over there. You had Horton, I believe, the receiver who down blocked on a linebacker, but it was smart because you're not going to force anything. Let's just get to field goal position, kick a field goal, go up 10-7 at the half.
Yeah, it felt like a cool moment. Not only really smart, but like not overcomplicating things. And I felt like at times it got a little cute. There was a specific series we don't have here. They took over at midfield after that Cody White return, and you're just thinking, like, in theory, these plays could be cool. But are you ready for that? Like, just keep it kind of simple for this one. And that's a good example of keeping it kind of simple, even though it's really smart. All right, Brock Purdy intercepted by Ernest Jones, feeding the fans chaos.
1st and 10 at the Seattle 39 for the Niners. Opening drive of this second half. McCaffrey in the backfield. Play fake to him. Purdy has time, throws to the middle, intercepted. Reaching up, making the interception is Jones, and he gets hammered down at the 30. Wow, he looked like a receiver / tight end. He skied to make that interception, and the Seahawks stop the Niner drive, the first turnover of the game.
As frustrating as this game was, I'll tell you what I thought was working, and it was takeaways on defense, something they wanted to focus on this year, feeling like they didn't get as many as they'd like last.
This was an example of height being an issue at the quarterback spot. I was talking to Moyer about this. I sit next to him during the games. We have these conversations. And both of his interceptions, you're probably going to play the other one, is him throwing to a spot because he can't really see over the line. And he's saying, all right, well, according to the coverage that I'm seeing, this is probably going to be open when I start feeling this pressure. Good on Ernest Jones going back there and grabbing one. He could have had 2. He let another one get through his hands. But yeah, way to be where we're supposed to be and make a play.
Let's see. I'm going to skip over the blocked field goal. Again, just the defense kind of providing some chaotic plays, doing their part. We're feeling good about the group at this point. Let's get back to Jackson Smith and Jigba again getting involved here. This one is the Seahawks taking over with 2 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. 1st and 10, Charbonnet 6 yards. 2nd and 4, no gain, so now they're facing 3rd and 4. Again, one of the 3 third downs that they actually completed.
Sam Darnold out of the shotgun on 3rd down and 4. 4-man rush by the Niners. Sam steps up in the pocket. Now he's going to scramble out to the right side. He's going to look. He's going to turn. He's going to fire back to the inside. On his knees, making the catch. JSN. A flag is down far side. Sam Darnold gets out of trouble. JSN pulls away from a defender and falls down, making the reception.
A key conversion, a big play by JSN. You began the show by saying that the 49ers just won on more of their 50-50 plays. Is this one of the plays where Seattle won there?
Well, I wouldn't call this a 50-50 play. This is just Sam Darnold buying time and going across his body. And JSN was actually moving away from Sam Darnold, saw that he was rolling to his right, put his foot in the ground and came back to the quarterback. Scramble drills, you're just trying to find some space, and that's what happened there.
All right, let's get back to that other takeaway. This one, Josh Jobe intercepting Brock Purdy.
Purdy's going to drop back 7. He's going to look. He's going to let it fly. Got defenders out there, intercepted. The 2nd interception of the game for the Seahawks. Coming up with the play is Josh Jobe. One of the Seahawks is down on the far side near where the interception took place. But Jobe leaping high Picks off Purdy. That's the second pick off of him today.
What did you see from Joe Pierre? I know you talked about what you thought Purdy was doing. What did you see from Josh?
Just sinking deep into the zone. It was almost like they were bracketing that receiver over there with the corner underneath, safety over the top, and then just high pointing the football, something that people wanted Reek Willen to do in the end zone later.
All right. Let's get to the drive from hell. So 1st and 10, McCaffrey picks up just one. This is San Francisco taking over, 3:24. At this point, Seattle on 4th and 1 has decided to kick a field goal. So it's Seattle 13, San Francisco 10. We all know what happens. San Francisco can kick a field goal and tie it, send it into overtime, or they get a touchdown. Seattle's going to get a chance to respond here. So, again, 1st and 10. McCaffrey gets 1 yard. 2nd and 9.
Purdy wants to throw on 2nd down. Pump fakes. Now he looks. Now he throws down the far sideline. Getting out there is Pearsall. He makes the catch. As the ball is kind of misplayed by Reek Woolen. I think he just lost track of it. He said the receiver pushed off of him, but there's no flag down. And Kobe Bryant has to come over and knock Pearsall out of bounds. A 45-yard gain.
You can hear Wyman in the background going, oh, no. And that's kind of how I felt in the press box. Just, oh, God.
Yeah, Pearsall makes a good move. It's a double move. He breaks down and then gets back up the field. And Reek Willen's in good position. He just can't track the football. I don't know what it is. And he needs to get better at that because that's been an issue for the last couple of years. But Pearsall makes a good play. Purdy makes a good throw. Reek Willen just can't find the rock.
And here's the touchdown.
Purdy with a trip set left. Takes the shotgun snap. Has time. Now he's got to scramble. Still looking. Scrambling. Now he's just going to throw high. And it's caught. It's taken away from the defender. It's caught by the Niners, Jay Tongas.
Once again, how did Woolen not intercept that?
He was there in position to intercept it, and yet he doesn't come down with it. The receiver does. And the Niners go on top, 16-13. With a $1:34 left in the game.
In real time, for a split second, I thought Woolen did intercept it. Just for a split second. And then you immediately see some of the reaction from 49ers teammates. Obviously, you realize Woolen's hands are empty, but just it looked like it was this close to landing in his hands.
He's got to be the aggressor. He looked like the receiver there. And even as a receiver, you're taught to attack the football out the air. Just disappointing. And, people are going to highlight those 2 plays, and they should with Reek. But let me remind you, there are a bunch of other things that happened that led to this moment. The Niners are a better football team than I thought, but you do expect your starters, especially a guy with the abilities of Reek Willen, to make that play.
Okay, let's go ahead and jump to the strip sack here by Nick Bosa.
2nd down and 5. Darnold takes the shotgun snap. Looks, fires. Ball comes off his hand. Is it a fumble? Is it an incomplete pass? If it's a fumble, the Niners recover ball game. The ball, I believe, was tipped away from Darnold as he was rearing back to throw. As the pressure got in there to Sam Darnold, ball hits the ground. Bosa recovers, and that's going to do it.
Is this Darnold, a debate that I saw, is this on Abe? You just got a contract extension, or is this just Nick Bosa being a monster?
It's on everybody. It's on Abe. Abe got dominated that play. He lost the rep. Sam didn't feel the pressure. I think he was looking left, so it's kind of hard for him to do that. And but mostly it's Nick Bosa making plays. He made plays all throughout the game, and plays that I think the average person won't really recognize. Collapse in the pocket. Charles Cross got some. AJ got some. When Nick Bosa is healthy, he's only 27 years of age. I thought he was older than that for some reason.
The conversations that we're collectively having, like, oh, 49ers getting older, that window's closing, you'd think Nick Bosa was 35.
Yeah, he's 27, and he's still one of the elite defensive linemen in the game. And we saw that yesterday.
He must have come out at like 20.
He was young.
Did he get out a year early? Jeez.
Maybe because Joey played for a while before Nick came into the league.
Yeah.
There's just always been a Bosa wreaking havoc in the backfield.
I guess I just remember specifically that draft because was it Kyler and Nick Bosa? And it just feels like it was forever ago.
Yeah.
But you know how things are when they're pre-COVID. We lived 5 years during just that time. Reaction Monday is powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. Let's get to 4 down territory.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. With former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
No break for you here, Bump. We're sorry. Lots of X's and O's for you in this segment. 1st down. Why was the run game not able to get going the way we expected it to?
One, I mentioned it to start the show. It was a bit predictable when it came to just formations. By the second or third series, I can look at the formation and tell where they're going with the football. And I think that the 49ers did a good job of setting the edge because they wanted to get wide outside and they weren't able to do that. But a lot of the times, the unblocked guy made the play. There's always going to be someone who's unblocked when you run the football, especially on the backside of things. If I'm running to the right, there's going to be a backside linebacker or safety that is unblocked. And they were flying downhill and making plays. And then to the play side, there's a guy that's unblocked. If I'm a corner, a receiver, I'm either blocking the corner or I'm push cracking to the safeties. A lot of the times you block the corner, the safety comes down to make the play. Or a push crack to the safety, the corner makes the play. The unblocked guy made the play a lot of the times with the 49ers, and they could kind of understand what the Hawks are trying to do just based off of their formation.
So I have some dumb follow-up questions. I thought the entire point of Kubiak's system / Shanahan's scheme is make things look the same and then do different things. You know what I mean? Like lots of different plays, lots of different options out of the same look. So we did not see that.
You know what? I'll talk more about that in fourth down.
Oh, well. Let's get to second down then. What did you make of the performance of the rookies?
I thought Gray Zabel had his moments where he looked good, and he had his moments where he's trying to figure out. But I think the Arroyo, the game looked fast to him. Right, the thing about Arroyo coming out of Miami was that he's a receiver. He can play outside. He's fast for his size. And I watched him a lot of the time, and the game just looked fast for him. There was a play where he's clearly supposed to block Bosa on the back end. He whiffs, goes up to the second level, and turns back around and gets Bosa. The game was just fast for him. Then I'm looking at Torrey Horton as well. Running routes, he's fine, but when it comes to blocking and sorting things out, it's moving a lot, just fast for these guys. But as the season progresses, they're going to get better with little things like that. Obviously didn't get a chance to see a lot of Nick Mawari. When he was out there, he was in position to make plays. 4 or 5 plays that he was out there. But no, every rookie had a rookie moment to where they're trying to sort some stuff out. These guys are bigger, faster, and stronger. You got to be technically sound with your stuff. Well, they look like rookies, and I'm excited to see how they progress because they're not going to look the way they did week 1.
I feel like this is a regular reminder of why people who have actually played, whenever we ask about rookies, always say like, well, they're rookies. Yeah. So you don't want to count on them for things. And it's like, hey, as fun as a preseason game will be, as much as people want to say like, oh, Torrey Horton, he's going to go for 120 in this game. It's not a coincidence that when you look at the stats league-wide for rushing, receiving, passing, whatever it is, it's veterans. Like, you're not going to find any rookies in any of these categories that were leading the league.
Do you remember your first time being a host on the radio?
Yeah.
And just how logistically you're trying to figure some things out. How do I get in? How do we get out? Looking at the time, there's so many things that you have to worry about. But now, 6 years in the game?
Yeah.
You know, it's smooth. That's exactly how rookies feel.
I never even say, talk to me. Not anymore. Third down. What are some numbers that help tell the story of the game on Sunday?
So in the first half, the average down and distance for the 49ers when it comes to second down was 9 yards. Granted, they had like a 2nd and 22, a 2nd and 14, but when you do the math, 9 yards. Second half, the average down and distance for second down was 5.3 yards. So they were better on first down. You look at the Seahawks, the average down and distance for the offense on third down in the first half was 4 yards, more productive. In the second half, it was 8 yards. So you see how, as the game progressed, the 49ers found their groove on offense, and it felt like the Seahawks kind of slowed down on offense. They did average about 5 yards per gain on first downs throughout the rest of the game, but the Niners got better and possessed the ball in the second half, and the Seahawks slowed down a bit in the second half. Yet the defense still kept them in. So just a couple numbers for you to think about and to digest. But with all that being said, they were still in the game. They got an opportunity to win the ball game.
Fourth down. Back to the offense. How does the offense improve in week 2?
Like you said during first down, or you asked a question during first down. Now it's time for them to make everything they did look like something else. When I see Oots start off in a high formation and he shifts to the left side, 9 out of 10 times you're running to the left side, you're probably going outside zone. So now what can you do? You fake the outside zone, you slip Oots to the right side underneath everything, you leave the end unblocked, you chip him, you hit him in the flat, and you pull your ex-receiver over the middle of the field. When you do the toss, instead of just getting outside, You cut it back. You ran outside zone so much yesterday, which we expected. At a certain different formations with 2 tight ends, with 1 tight end, with the fullback. Now it's time to play the deception game. If you go back and look at the way the 49ers ran in through the football, that's what you're trying to do. You're trying to show the zone and go the other way. Because if you can run the zone and get everything flowing that way, they have to respect it. There's no way they're going to watch you run that outside zone or fake the outside zone and just not flow with you. So that's how the offense can look better next week. It's just use the zone to your advantage. Get the flow going and be able to design some plays to get you going the other way, which I did see during the preseason a couple times.
Some listener questions. This one's about the running backs, but in particular, they said from the 253 bump, how did you feel about Walker's performance? 20 yards on 10 carries.
There were a couple plays where I felt like he's trying to do what we're asking him to do, which is like get downhill. But it's also, okay, you get downhill, but then you got to be special at the same time because that's your game. I think Zach Charbonnet probably was the better back that day. He earned himself some more carries. And competition is good, but I thought that it's almost like Ken Walker limited himself a little bit because he's trying to do what everyone is asking him to do, which is just get downhill. I get it, but at some point, you got to be yourself and be special. It's such a fine line because you don't want him to not give the run a chance, but you also want him to be special.
Well, not to be, again, I know I'm limited in my football IQ, certainly compared to an actual offensive coordinator, and it's not close. But I guess the way I would think about it is like, if you have a talented running back, no matter your own scheme, you should find a way to take advantage. If what you're doing or what you want to do is making someone who could help you worse, how can you change that up?
Yeah.
Like, how often do coordinators have to scheme around guys that wouldn't be ideal fits in a perfect world, but they're like, well, shoot, this guy's talented. Let me figure out what I can do here. You know what I mean? It's probably a problem every OC is going to face. It's like, this guy isn't exactly who I'd choose, but let me figure this out because he's talented.
I also want to see more gap scheme, some pulling, some trapping, and all that good stuff. It's in there. They showed a couple of them, but for the most part, it was just 85-90% zone.
Kalen DeBoer's in hot water at Bama, but one fan has an idea for how the school can afford his buyout. Plus, Josh Allen calls out Bills fans. That's next on Bump and Stacy.
28 runs in their last 2 games.
Home run Geno into the Mariners bullpen. The massive offensive day for the Mariners continue.
The Mariners are back home at T-Mobile Park for the penultimate homestand of the season. And every game matters in the push to the playoffs. Tonight, it's the first of 3 against the Cardinals. First pitch at 6:40, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. With football season comes colder weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here with Keith Dashafee from locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. So Keith, what's your next big play?
Well, Steve, right now get 40% off qualifying installs or no payments and no interest for 12 months on approved credit.
Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
If you've been considering upgrading your siding, now is the perfect time. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. In the Pacific Northwest, moisture is the enemy. Old failing siding leads to hidden water damage, rot, and mold. State Roofing and Exteriors is a James Hardy preferred contractor with over 55 years of siding expertise. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com to schedule your siding inspection today. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the last roof you'll ever need.
Yay to Bruce, the streaming king.
With quantum fiber internet, he's gonna binge.
He wants more, he's got to have more.
More bedtime true crime.
More podcasts in the shower.
Quantum fiber Wi-Fi has the power. More fast internet speed.
He's got the gigs to grow big, bring him the games.
Right now.
And his royal we.
More sports non-stop, his quantum fiber's on top. Yay to you. Switch today at quantumfiber.com. Limited availability, service and speed in select locations only.
The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way in Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive, deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Hello, hello. Welcome to Lee Johnson Auto Family. This is King. This organization's a special one. They call it the Lee Johnson Auto Family, and it's not just a name, it's not just some cliche. They foster an environment for us to become a family, to work together, to really become close, and they show us in a lot of different ways that they do value us. Is it perfect? No, no place is. But I've been very thankful to be here in the almost 10 years and have every plan to stay here for a lot longer and just watch it continue to grow.
He's fun and professional, which explains why so many people visiting Lee Johnson Kia ask for him by name. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Let's talk about your hair. Well, maybe after we talk about my hair. I've got great hair, as you know, and it's because of Advanced Hair. Yep, Advanced Hair Restoration. Their simple one-day treatment offers life-changing results that I can attest to. Guys, it's not magic, but it's close to it. They put hair where you need it most, and bam, it grows. It's actual science. Advanced Hair has top-rated physicians, modern technology, and best of all, you get your very own natural hair that begins to regrow the very next day. It's even guaranteed to grow for life. So schedule your free consultation now at 425-449-8185. Mention Curly to qualify for $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. It's a limited time offer. Advanced Hair, the winner of the 425 Business of the Year, and the team that gave me my hair back. More importantly, they'll do the same for you, guaranteed. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Bump, did you get a Powerball ticket this weekend?
I've only done that like once, maybe.
I don't usually play at all, but I pulled up to this gas station and they'd printed out like 1.7 billion, and they stuck the paper, like a bunch of papers, like flyers on like every single gas pump. And I was like, well, shoot.
Here's my sign.
I could be a billionaire, so let me buy a ticket. And I didn't win. And I was disappointed. I had to delete the email that I had drafted out to Kyle, quitting my job on the spot. Just kidding. I would still show up. I would just pretend I'm better than all of you.
So no change.
So no change whatsoever. I didn't win. But everyone, well, I shouldn't say everyone. a lot of people were talking about it this weekend. It was dominating plenty of local news coverage because everyone's like, oh my God, I'm getting a ticket. Susie from Guntersville told reporters from North Alabama's News 19 exactly how she would spend her money if she did win the $1.7 billion Powerball jackpot.
I tell you exactly what I'd do with the first $70 million. I'd pay off Kalen DeBoer and get him the heck out of the University of Alabama, and then I'd take whatever else it took to get rid of the AD. I'd give him a church money. I don't know how much of what I'd have, after I paid my taxes, but I'm sure I'd have plenty with this kind of deal, but I know I'm not going to win. I just hope I win some scratch-offs.
Unfortunately for Susie, and maybe fortunately for Kalen DeBoer, the 2 winning tickets were sold in Texas and Missouri.
Hey, Alabama won 73-0 this weekend.
Yeah.
University of Louisiana Monroe. Give Kalen DeBoer, give him a chance, man. He won 9 games last year. Yeah, you lost to Florida State. Look, you got Wisconsin, Georgia, and Vandy coming up. If you can beat Wisconsin, bless your heart with Georgia, and get to Vanderbilt, you might be okay, man. The game is different. Kalen doesn't have the resources that Nick Saban has. No, the thing is, everyone has resources now. It's not just Alabama come play for us. You get to the NFL, you got to cough up some money. So, yeah, I get it. And Kalen's a West Coast guy. You go down south, it's a different breed down there. Different culture.
They'll hate you.
Yeah.
Like, they will straight up hate you.
Yes.
What's that accent? You from California? You from Fresno? What dumb sports thing would you do for $2 billion? With $2 billion, I should say. You get $2 billion. Pretend it's tax-free, because I think you'd only walk away with, like, I don't know, $700 million.
Dumb sports. I don't know. I'd buy like a suite for the Lakers every Laker game.
You wouldn't try to buy the Lakers?
Nah.
Buy a minority stake in the Lakers?
Nah. I don't want a part of that. I don't want the responsibility.
Okay.
I would just go to every sporting event. I go to the World Cup. I go to the Ryder Cup.
Constantly, like box seats to every big thing. Solid.
Yeah. The question was dumb sports thing. That's just like a regular sports thing you would do with $2 billion.
That's dumb.
What's a dumb thing you would do?
It's dumb. You don't spend it. If I'm
No,
gonna,
you're
I'm
just
gonna go
going to sporting events
everywhere. All right, Matthew. You shut your mouth when you talk to me.
I would.
What dumb sporting I would do, I would buy a bunch of Kobe stuff. How's that? I'll buy a bunch of Kobe
That's
stuff.
something.
Okay. I would,
Thank you for challenging me to be better, Matthew.
I would pay the NFL to let me redo the rivalry uniforms.
See, that's the answer I wanted.
I'd say, let me get a shot at this. Let me handle this.
You would design it?
Yeah, obviously. Do you know how much Project Runway I watch? These are going to be absolutely amazing.
Can
Will
you
they
draw?
be?
You a drawer?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Will they be Seahawks colors? No, who cares? Okay. I make the rules. That's what my $2 billion is going to buy me. I'm designing the uniforms. There's going to be a lot of colors. They're going to have
pastel
pockets. Hoods, I think, can be kind of fun. I want coordinated gloves. Yeah, I just think it's going to maybe like multi-purpose. You know what I mean? Just all kinds of ideas that I could have here. I don't like purple, but I do like pink. So that can be kind of fun to incorporate.
Well, you just take care of all the October uniforms because, October for breast cancer is pink. So
Yeah. Oh, my God, I would love that.
Mhm.
Okay, great. So that's what I would spend my $2 billion on. Let's go to Bill Belichick. After UNC's 23 win over Charlotte, Bill was asked about banning the Patriots scouts from North Carolina's facility.
Yeah, well, no, it's clear that I'm not welcome there around their facility, and so they're not welcome in ours. Pretty simple.
Pretty simple. Mike Vrabel, for his part, said Bill Belichick is welcome at the Patriots facility to the best of his knowledge, and nothing surprises me when it comes to the 6-time Super Bowl winning coach's decision to ban New England scouts.
Vrabel is, when you have like mom and dad situation, and in some situations you ask dad for permission, but it's really still up to mom, right? And vice versa. That's what that is. Kraft is the one who's really making the decision. Vrabel's like, yeah, go ahead. You're invited. Come on. Then you ask your mom, and she's like, nah, you ain't going nowhere. You're staying home. That's what this feels like. Of course, Vrabel's going to want his former coach to be in the facility.
Let's get back to that fan altercation at the Bills-Ravens game. That was during Sunday night's 41-40 loss to the Bills. Ravens quarterback Lamar Jackson shoved a fan who slapped Jackson and Hopkins on the helmet. This is after Jackson threw a 29-yard touchdown pass to Hopkins. Absolutely amazing. In the third quarter, they were celebrating near the front row. Lamar was asked about the altercation afterwards.
Yeah, I seen him slap D-Hop, but, I wasn't really. He slapped me, and he's talking. So I just forgot where I was for a little bit, But you gotta think in those situations. You got security out there. Let security handle it, But I just let my emotions get the best of me. But hopefully it don't happen again. I learned from that.
Lamar, will you not maybe go that close to the visiting side? That's the visiting fans.
No, because I never seen our fans do that. So I'll probably do it again. We score a touchdown, but it's nothing against the fans.
Right.
I'm just celebrating my teammates scoring a touchdown.
Yeah, you probably shouldn't, in an ideal world, put hands on a fan. However, that fan needs to be escorted out of that stadium for putting hands on a player.
Self-defense. All right. You put hands on me, I should be able to put hands on you. I think Lamar
Shove
had
you back in your seat?
the proper answer. He probably should, keep his wits about him and stay calm. But, there's something that people tap into when they feel threatened and someone puts hands on you. So I understand why Lamar reacted the way that he did. I also understand his reaction now that he's calm and can and uses hindsight. But don't put hands on nobody.
No, and see, the difference is I can kind of empathize with, or find a path where I kind of excuse Lamar's behavior and be like, look, you are held to a different professional standard. However, first reaction for most people, if you saw someone hit your friend, would be like, hey, get out of here, or whatever, shove someone back. I cannot come up with an excuse for the fan. That's just a punk move by someone who never in a bajillion years would approach either Lamar or DeAndre outside of a uniform, walking down the street, would never go up and shove them. He's just doing it because he has the benefit of thinking he can get away with it. It's the same person who has fake accounts and tweets little troll things. You're doing this behind the protection of either being anonymous or feeling like this player can't touch me, so I'm going to push him because I'm jealous, and I don't know, just a really stupid decision on the part of the fan, and I can't excuse it.
I've never been a super fan. I've never been at an event where I'm just losing my mind and I'm going crazy and would even put myself in that situation. So I cannot relate to that fan at all, but I can relate to Lamar. You put hands on me, I'm going to put hands on you.
Yeah, thankfully the fan was ejected from the stadium, rightfully so. Also real dumb to just, your front row, everyone can see who you are. It's a quick way to not watch more Bills games in person. But
text line saying the fan got banned.
He did.
Yeah.
The Miami Herald's Omar Kelly asked Miami quarterback Tua Tagovailoa about his turnovers coming in bunches following their 33-8 loss to the Colts.
From your standpoint, why is it that when you do have turnovers, they happen in bunches? Do you think, is it you pressing, or?
I wouldn't say I'm pressing. I would say it's part of the game. You obviously don't want to turn it over. I thought that was a wild comment, that I turned the ball over in bunches. That's crazy. It just so happened that's what happened today. It was what it was. We got to move forward from that. Can't make those same mistakes, and just move on from it.
I don't know that it's a wild question. Probably not how I would have asked it, because that's tough. For what it's worth, Tua only had interceptions in 2 games last year.
And it was in bunches.
So they were in bunches.
Yeah.
He had 3 in a game against Buffalo, and then 1 in another game, 3 in another game. The narrative Omar is asking about is not wrong. Excuse me, had 6, 7 interceptions, 6 of them over 2 games. So he's not wrong.
No, and then the year before that, 2 against Buffalo, 2 against Baltimore, 2 against New Jersey.
He's not wrong.
2 against the Giants. But Tua's reaction should be the reaction of an athlete. You don't think of your turnovers that way. You don't dwell on them like that. You have to kind of compartmentalize them and just put them to the side and move forward. I get both. I don't think neither of those guys are wrong. I think Tua's reaction is one that an athlete should have, and I think that the question is valid.
Mike Macdonald was on with Brock and Salk this morning in an exclusive interview and talked about the most telling stat to him from yesterday's loss. That's next.
The Mike Macdonald Show. The morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Having talked to you after some of these games for the last year, you seem maybe a little more frustrated today.
Of course you're frustrated. We expect to win those games. And I believe we have a really good football team. It's a long season, but there's an urgency to go make it right and to get better. And this is a really critical week for us.
The Mike Macdonald Show. Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
If you have unfiled taxes or are in debt to the IRS, this is important news. Did you know the IRS has programs specifically designed to help people struggling with tax debt? Powerful tax assistance programs that can save you thousands if you qualify. No one knows these programs better than the experts at Optima Tax Relief, America's most trusted tax resolution firm. A+ rated by the Better Business Bureau, their award-winning tax attorneys and licensed professionals have resolved over $1 billion of tax debt for their clients. One call to Optima can start the process, helping to put an end to your worries about wage garnishment, asset seizure, and other aggressive IRS actions. Find the best options to solve your tax problems. Call the experts at Optima Tax Relief today for a free consultation.
Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
Step into Seahawks game day at the Pro Shop, where the roar of the 12s begins. And official Seahawks gear is always within reach.
Touchdown, Seahawks!
This is the Pro Shop. Visit the official store of the Seattle Seahawks, located at Lumen Field and the Landing in Renton.
Are you road trip ready? Bucky's Complete Auto Repair will make your car safe and dependable with expert service and old-fashioned care. Brakes, oil change, factory service, and more. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Bucky's.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Rick Riz here with Luke Wilson, a local owner of Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. With your help and the Improve Your Play program, Pella has chosen a local youth athletic program to receive a $5,000 grant. Luke, who's the lucky winner this week?
Rick, we could not be more excited to announce Shelton Youth Football and Cheer as one of two winners of this $5,000 grant.
Thanks to Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington for helping our local youth thrive.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, two-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Hey everybody, it's Bob Stelton here. Now, if you have joint pain, this is going to interest you. Wednesday, September 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
So what joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Before we start this, the latest from Mike Macdonald, including the most indicative stat for him from this game. Can I tell you the dumb thing my sister told me this weekend? You guys ever play fantasy football with anyone who's never played before and they ask stupid questions and you're like, how could you? And then they try to make the case that it's a fair question.
There are no stupid questions, Stacy.
Bump.
Give me the stupid question.
I'll tell you both of them. The first one was she thought once the people, because she has the bench players, right? She goes, so once they already play, like if I had players who played on Thursday and Friday, can't I take them out and put in my other players? No stupid questions, Bob?
You know what? I am a firm believer that there should be one substitute per week.
Stop
you
making
should be able to
excuses for
sub.
Sam.
I'm not saying, but this has been a conversation I've had with a couple of my friends. Like, we should be able to make a sub because in real football, you make subs all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So then we get one sub a week.
Okay. The second one was, you know how when you look at players and it's like 90% rostered, 100% rostered, 98% rostered, it's abbreviated to ROST, and she thought that that meant it was like a 90% match for her team, Rost. So she'd be like, oh,
it's her first time playing.
DeAndre Hopkins, oh my God, he's 99% a match for the Rost team. And I said, no.
This is her first time playing, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What do you expect? She doesn't live sports the way you do.
She has Derrick Henry. Yesterday I said, you know, he's playing right now. Oh, no.
Oh, no?
I didn't realize. God love her. I lost. Let's get to the Mike Macdonald show, what he saw watching the film back.
Again, I think it's the same, similar things we talked about after the game. We played really hard, put ourselves in position to win, and there's plenty of opportunities that were out there that we had that we could have secured the game probably earlier, and even at the end that we'd love to take advantage of those opportunities, and we'll learn to do that. But it stings. You know, it really stings that that's a game that we feel like we should be able to win.
Yeah, he said he felt time of possession was the most indicative stat from this one. If anyone needs a reminder, it was like about 38-22 in favor of the 49ers. 38 minutes, obviously.
Yeah, you got to possess a football. You want to win the ball game, or just control the tempo. You need the ball in your hands, and it shows us the disparity when it comes to plays. Man, it's like 50 plays to like 70 something. First downs, third downs. Yeah, the Niners, it was a close game, but there are some numbers you can look at to make you feel like the Niners dominated this.
He was asked about his coaching notes for Rick Woolen, who received a ton of criticism after this one.
Yeah, it's tough. I mean, look, there's the deep ball where probably until the last second or two of the play, he played pretty well. And we just got to be better when we're in and out of phase on how we're going to attack the ball. It's a technique thing. It's a fundamental thing with Reek. And then we'll get to the bottom of what happened in the end zone. But you know, the ball was put up in the air. Let's go attack it. Let's go make that play, which he's made those plays before. And yeah, it's funny. It's like, yeah, okay, we're gonna single out those two plays, but I mean, there's so many other plays throughout the game that got us to those points too. You know, but I mean, those stick out because it's the last drive on defense. We'll play those better in the future.
I see it as like Wolin giveth and Wolith taketh away. He saved you a touchdown earlier in the game by virtue of excellent closing speed, reaching out his hands, his fingertips get on the ball. I think it was a target intended to McCaffrey. It ended up being a field goal instead of a touchdown. He saved you that because of his skill. And it's kind of like the flip side of that is there are still things he needs to refine.
The positives about those plays, and I know lots of people don't want to hear it, is that he was in position to make the play. If he were just, it almost would have been better for him if he weren't even around the ball.
Just completely burned.
If he was just done. And then people would have been like, oh, man, it was just a great route or whatnot by Pearsall or Tungus or whatnot. But he was in position to make the play. But now you just got to finish, man. You have to finish. And I think it's fair to expect Rick Woolen to finish those plays because we've seen him do it. But it seems like over the last couple seasons, there's been a decline on him when it comes to him finishing those plays. If he can do that, he could be one of the best corners in the game. Right now, Josh Jobe is playing better football than Rick Woolen. And Josh Jobe is not the athlete that Rick Woolen is. Sometimes it's just being where you're supposed to be and making the plays you're supposed to make.
He talked a lot about third downs after the game and then was asked about them by Brock and Salk first, whether he has a number in mind, third and fill in the blank, that makes them more manageable.
Depends on the field position. You know, a lot of times when you're in plus territory, you have 2 to get it based off of what our strategy is that week. So, yeah, it varies. I mean, I don't want to give you a number because that might be that might be a giveaway on how we handle third downs. Yeah.
So he's pressed a little bit more.
We're trying to not be in third down.
Fair.
I mean, you're trying to convert on first and second downs. Is really how you want to operate, but you want to keep it moving forward so you're not, in third and super long. And if you feel like the kind of the balance beam, it shifts a little bit, or the seesaw. Like if it seesaws back into like, okay, now defense can be more aggressive. That's probably too long. I mean, that's going to happen in football, right? It's just you're trying to minimize those. We didn't create enough of them on defense.
Did you see an offense that wasn't as efficient as it could have been?
Yeah. I mean, when you put the numbers you put up, you don't have the rushing numbers that you want. You don't throw for a touchdown. There are clearly some things that you want to do better and can do better. But I think it all comes down to just playmaking and finding ways to distribute the ball. But the players got to get open. I said this before on the show. When they were manned up, there wasn't a lot of separation being created there. Jason created the most separation, but the tight ends weren't getting open. And then I'm looking at some of the decision-making of Sam Darnold. I think he made pretty good decisions, but his progression sometimes took him elsewhere. There are some times where I felt like there was a tight end open in the flat he didn't get to, but I don't know how he's being coached up to read this defense. In this situation, we want to read here first. And Jason was a focal point, and he should be a focal point. He's the best option you have on offense so far, but you just got to find a way to spread the ball around. So that's going to be my main focal point when it comes to analyzing what they do next week is how are you getting other players the ball and getting them the ball with space.
A listener asked if there's any update on Nicky Manwari, who left the game with an ankle injury. Here's Mike this morning.
Yeah, I'll have more update later, but let's just say we're not sure on the timetable right now with Nick. So
I don't feel great about that answer. I'm going to be really honest. I mean, I do think that coaches are willing to say, hey, he's done for the season. Like in my experience, at least with Pete Carroll, who I obviously covered far longer than Mike Macdonald, Pete Carroll would admit when it was like, clearly this guy's done. And you kind of slip it in there, unfortunately. But hey, we're going to bounce back. So I don't think it's that, but it's certainly not encouraging.
No, it's gray. And when you saw him go down, he was grabbing his ankle, his foot area. That's never good, right? Especially for your skill position guys. But hey, this is ball, and the next guy's gonna have to step up. And the next guy right now is Ty Okada. But I always wonder what the game would have looked like with Nick Emery in the game.
Yeah.
The tight ends had themselves a decent day for the 49ers, and that's where I felt like he was gonna shine the most was covering those tight ends. So. What can you do? You just pray for the best and get ready to go.
Mike Macdonald does have another press conference typically on Mondays later in the afternoon. So I'm sure during Wyman and Bob ahead of that pregame show, they'll be able to get a few injury updates. And I would guess that's when we hear something more definitively about Nikki Manwari. So stay tuned after us and stick with Wyman and Bob, and they'll probably get a reaction during the show. What caught our eye? Coming your way next.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Having talked to you after some of these games for the last year, you seem maybe a little more frustrated today.
Of course you're frustrated. We expect to win those games. And I believe we have a really good football team. It's a long season, but there's an urgency to go make it right and to get better. And this is a really critical week for us.
The Mike Macdonald Show. Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. To celebrate the start of football season, the guys at Harley Exteriors are offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to harleyexteriors.com.
When you stay in your home, what you love gets to stay too. From the gardens that grow wild to the grandkids that run wilder. From the Friday night baseball games to the Sunday morning brunches. Even the daily crosswords and weekly book clubs. There's room for it all with help from Home Instead, the largest in-home senior care network with over 30 years of trusted experience delivering the peace of mind you deserve. Visit Home Instead online for a better what's next.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla of speed test intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license, unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization, video streams, and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
Home runs in 3 consecutive games. Cal Raleigh, the big number.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees.
Strike three call, triple digits to end it and complete the sweep.
You can use your credit however you want. Go big with club seats for a couple high-stakes showdowns, or stretch it out until the final series against the Dodgers. And the best part, Homestretch Flex members get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. That means you're first in line when October comes calling. The team is locked in.
J.P. Crawford! Game winner, walk-off fashion in the ninth inning.
And now it's time to bring the energy down the stretch. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch. Mariners baseball. Try dance up.
Let's go!
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
Quick NFL updates here from ESPN's Adam Schefter. The fan who shoved DeAndre Hopkins and then got shoved by Lamar Jackson has been, quote, indefinitely banned from Bills and NFL stadiums per a team official. He was ejected after the shove on Sunday night. The Giants are sticking with Russell Wilson for a Week 2 game against the Cowboys in Dallas. There was some question about whether the team would turn to rookie Jackson Dart after a bad loss to the Commanders, but head coach Brian Daboll shot that down today.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Reaction Mondays, powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel. And we have a lot to react to from a Week 1 loss to the 49ers with things that caught our eyes in this one. So, Bump, get us started.
There it is. I knew we had some music for this one. What caught my ojos? JSN with 13 targets in the game. And Sam Darnold was locked in on him. And I think it wasn't like, okay, I'm only getting the ball to JSN. It was like, all right, well, he's getting open. And this play design is allowing him to get open. I think that the Hawks struggled when it came to one-on-one matchups. Mm-hmm. So when you have 13 targets out of 23 attempts, you got to find ways to get other people involved. Jason had a good game minus the fumble, 124 yards. He's clearly a number one receiver, but you got to find ways to get other people involved. And Sam Darnold had an okay day. He completed 69% of his passes, but you need more participation points from other people. So 13 targets out of 23 attempts.
Yeah, I thought that I agree with you. I thought Sam Darnold's day was fine. Again, he had 150 passing yards. Kyler Murray for the Cardinals, who won that game against the Saints with 163. Granted, he had 2 touchdowns. Obviously makes the difference in that game. But I'm with you. I was watching this one not thinking, oh, he's locked in on JSN. That's his first read. He's not getting through progressions. I was thinking, man, I'm nervous about the depth in this room behind JSN or lack thereof. Like, I'm a little bit nervous because I thought heading into this one, oh, Elijah Arroyo, what could he do? And he did have a target, but not enough. Heading into this game, I thought, oh, Cooper Kupp. What's Cooper Kupp going to do this season for Seattle? I mean, I don't think he's going to get 1,000 yards, but maybe he could be better than people think. And it was just nothing. So interesting to hear the perspective. That's helpful. Someone who's rewatched the tape being like, guys just weren't getting separation. I'm feeling nervous about this room. Pittsburgh's a good defense, man.
It needs some work. And that's it's all about progression. Mm-hmm. So let's see how they get guys open in Week 2.
Well, speaking of the receivers, for what caught my eye, if you had to guess between Cooper Kupp, AJ Barner, and JSN. Now, Bump, you know the answer to this, so I'll ask
But I'll tell you my original answer.
Yes, okay. If you had to guess between JSN, Cooper Kupp, AJ Barner, who was in on the most offensive snaps?
I thought it was AJ, JSN, and Cooper Kupp.
Right, which makes sense because JSN's your primary target. AJ's obviously going to be in to block as well for all those run plays. But no, Cooper Kupp was in on 88% of offensive snaps. AJ Barner in on 85%. JSN was just in for 77% of offensive snaps.
I think that's mainly because Cooper Kupp is the best blocking wide receiver they have. And he did have a good game when it comes to blocking. Obviously, as a receiver, you want to have a good game when it comes to receiving and yards after the catch and touchdowns and whatnot. But that was surprising. But it also makes sense because Kupp is a better blocking receiver.
Yeah. I was just kind of thinking of one of the things that I feel most, I don't want to say ominous or nervous, maybe a better word, about leaving this one. I feel excited about what I saw from JSN. I thought it was a great game from JSN. Tough drop in there, but a great game overall. I didn't leave feeling like there was a lot of depth. I left feeling like I had spent the offseason saying, national critics are being too hard on this wide receiver room. Tyler wasn't doing anything last year. Yeah, losing DK's big, but you want to be running the ball and JSN can be a number one guy. I kind of convinced myself that no, these guys have it wrong. This wide receiver room can actually be kind of good. And I'm not leaving this game feeling that way.
Nah, but I still think there's time for them to change the way you feel.
Yes.
But yes, going off of this game, you're definitely not super encouraged by it.
Okay, what's next?
What caught my ojos is that Zach Charbonnet performed and got the carries of a number one running back. I know that you look at 12 carries for Zach, 47, 1 touchdown, along with 7, and then 10 for Ken Walker. It felt like they gave Ken Walker the football early and then said, all right, Zach, you go ahead and run with this. Neither were extremely impressive. 3.9 per carry for Zach, 2 yards per carry for Ken Walker, along of 8 for Ken Walker, along with 7 for Zach Charbonnet. But it felt like they want Zach Charbonnet to be the number one running back. But I think where they stand right now, it's a battle, and that's good for this football team. They'll continue to push each other, but it felt like Zach Charbonnet was the number one guy.
Yeah. What went wrong for the run game that you saw? Because while I was also thinking that, man, they're really turning to Charbonnet a lot. Walker was only averaging 2 yards per carry. Did you also see the game just lost in the trenches?
Yeah, your right guard had a difficult day in Anthony Bradford. He had trouble getting into the second level, and they were shooting the gaps like crazy. And like I said, in 4-down territory, the unblocked guy made the play most of the time. You're not going to be able to block everybody on the play, and they were flying to the football. So once your timing gets all jacked up in the backfield because the defensive line is able to penetrate and make that running back make a move as soon as he gets the football, it's going to be rough. And that's what I saw for the most part. You got to tip your cap to the Niners.
Mo from Puyallup says K9 would excel if he can turn up the field. Now, that's what Bump was saying earlier. If you tuned into 4-down territory, and when we were talking about some of the plays of the game as well, Bump, you said, look, one of the things is, you got to let K9 be himself within your scheme, within your system. But it felt like K9 wasn't really... The complaint is he bounces around. He doesn't take the lane he's supposed to take. He bounces outside. Okay, he's your fastest running back. Sometimes it's going to work out.
He gave it a chance this game. But now it's you get downhill, you get to the second level, then you be special. And I think it's going to take some reps. And it's hard for a running back to get into the groove with 10 and 12 carries. You need 15, 20, 25 carries to really feel it. So I'm going to be interested to see how they divvy up the carries now.
All right, next up. What caught my eye, third downs, obviously. I feel like it's one of the most basic stats that you look at after every single game, how they do on third down. And that is not just because it's a truth about football, but because this team, regardless of offensive coordinator and frankly, regardless of head coach, has kind of struggled on third down. They were 3 for 10, not good. Ideally, you want to be 45% would be about average, and then in a perfect world, you'd be higher than that. But if you can get to 44%, 4 or 5 out of 10, that's pretty solid. 50%, I'd feel great about that. 30%, not good enough. Let's talk about some of those third downs, though. Of the 10 third downs they faced, they only converted 3. 2 of those, Bump, 3rd and 1. Oh, I would hope so.
Yeah.
I would hope that you converted 3rd and 1. One was that direct snap to Barner up the middle for 2. The other was Charbonnet going up the middle for 4. The only other one they completed, 3rd and 4, deep middle pass to JSN for 16 yards. Let's talk about the third downs they didn't complete, because while there is a 3rd and 18, that was the one where obviously you're going to target. It's a pass on that one, clearly. Target JSN. JSN fumbles it out of bounds. So 3rd and 18, that's tough. I'm going to chalk that up to they're going to punt here most of the time. They also didn't convert 3rd and 2. They also didn't convert 3rd and 5. Bosa blew that one up. There was a 3rd and 8, a little tougher, a short pass to Ken Walker. That one blown up by Bosa as well for a loss of 3 yards. A 3rd and 7. So I know that there are some 3rd and longs here. 3rd and 11, that's tough. 3rd and 18, that's tough. 3rd and 5 and 3rd and 2? Didn't complete those? Look, you're not going to be perfect every single time, but I think I don't want us to talk about this game as though, oh, they got so far behind the sticks. They were facing 3rd and long on all of these. No. You were in some manageable 3rd downs that you did not convert.
Yeah, you were. And it starts in the trenches. And I mentioned that the rhythm of the run game was thrown off a bit because of the defensive line for the 49ers. And when you're in those short yardage situations, all you need is a push. And there were times where Big 93, 99 were back there. I didn't even have these guys on my radar. And they were back there making plays, disrupting the flow of the run game. So, yeah, it makes sense, man. I think the 49ers have some guys on that D-line that people will start to recognize here later on in the season.
3rd and 3, another one I didn't mention, incomplete to Cooper Kupp.
Mm-hmm.
Just obviously a bad day on 3rd down, but there were some situations here you coulda, shoulda had.
Yeah.
What's next?
What's caught my ojos? Time of possession. We've talked about this already. 37 minutes for the San Francisco 49ers and 22 minutes for your 49ers. I think that ties back into some of the stats that you put out there. 3 for 10 on 3rd downs. You want to possess the ball, you got to be good on 3rd down. You got the 49ers 7 of 14. They were 50% on 3rd downs. That's how you keep drives going. Convert on 3rd downs or don't even get to 3rd down. All right, but you have drives of 4 plays, 3 plays -1, 3 plays -1, 3 plays 7 yards, 3 plays -6, 5 plays 52. It's not going to be too good for you. And you look at the 49ers, 14 plays, 95 yards. Let's pick in the big ones. 12 plays, 58 yards. 14 plays, 57 yards. 11 plays, 52. They're now outgaining you by a lot.
Yeah.
Granted, they had no negative drives, but they're putting plays together, chewing up the clock, controlling the tempo of the game.
All right. Maybe I'll save you. I have 2 more. I can't tell if I'll combine them here, but let's get to this one. What caught my eye? I mentioned looking at those 3rd downs. You were 3 for 10. Okay, the next thing I did, Mike Macdonald talked about, hey, we didn't do enough on 1st downs. So they only gained 14 1st downs in this one, but I looked at every single 1st down. That means including 1st downs that were on like a 3 and out. So every 1st down you have plus the 1st downs you gained, 23 total. Of those 23 total 1st down situations, guess how many times someone not named JSN, Walker, or Charbonnet got the ball?
Twice.
Once.
Who was it?
Elijah Arroyo.
I remember that one.
The only time someone not named JSN, Walker, or Charbonnet had the ball in his hands or was targeted on a 1st down, one time to Elijah Arroyo. 7-yard pass. Pretty solid 1st down, actually. That's a pretty good game. Now, I don't know what to make of it. This is a genuine question for you as an offensive mind, as someone who's been a coordinator, as someone who's played. Is that making something out of nothing? Like on a 1st down, you want to go to your playmakers. Like, what would you do with that info if someone gave that to you as an OC? You would already know it.
I would watch the film and see if I thought my quarterback was making the right decisions. Arroyo didn't get open much. A.J. Barner was open a couple of times in the flat. Horton wasn't open much. There was one play on a 3rd down where he was open deep, but they went to JSN there. Saubert wasn't open much. The running backs will get into the flats, but the 49ers did a good job rallying to the football. I think that the Niners had a game plan and executed the heck out of it. And Sam Darnold had to go to JSN for most of those plays. So now it's about designing. Designing. How am I going to get my guys open? The coach has to put the players in position to make the plays. Some of these routes that I'm seeing, route combinations that I saw, the players aren't winning versus one-on-one, and Sam Darnold is getting pressure, so he has to go with his first read. So it's a combination of things.
Okay. What's last?
What's caught my ojos? There, I have that one on my phone. There's something that I wrote down. I was watching film early this morning. Your boy didn't feel good, so I woke up around 4:30, 5 o'clock. I was like, all right, let's just watch some film.
I wasn't feeling well, so I started watching film at 4 a.m.
Yeah. Cooper Kupp is known for just being clutch. And I was so disappointed that he didn't make that play on third down, going across the middle. And it hit his hands. I mean, it was a dart. Sam Darnold put it right where he was supposed to be. And with only 3 targets, I talk about the running backs getting into their groove. I don't think Cooper Kupp had a chance to get into his groove. You need, as a receiver, as a number 2 receiver, you should have at least 6, 7 targets. At least 6 or 7 targets. And design plays for you as well. But Cooper Kupp has to help himself out and move guys and get open when they play against man. But when you have those opportunities, you have to make the play. So what caught my eye was that I was surprised that he only had 3 targets, and I was surprised that he dropped that third down.
Yeah, that's a good one too. It's like I am still not entirely sure of what to expect from Kupp fairly this season, or what to expect from the offense. I will say that if your goal is to improve on 10 wins and get to the playoffs, I can understand starting the season with a lower bar for your offense than your defense, but eventually the bar needs to raise.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you can't simultaneously say, we got to get to the playoffs. We got to get to the playoffs and win 11 games. And then on the other hand say, but if the offense doesn't figure it out, that's okay. Those two things aren't possible together. Like, you're going to need to figure it out offensively. You don't need to be perfect, especially if your defense is what we think it's going to be. But eventually that bar needs to be cleared. And it needs to start sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and it's week 1. I wish it's so much harder going off of week 1 after an L because I have to calm myself down and be patient with it. After a win, we would have been joyful. Look at this offense.
I would have come in and said, the Mariners are going to the World Series and the Seahawks are going to a Super Bowl.
It would have been so much fun, but I have to try not to overreact.
Yeah.
And try to anticipate the changes that are going to be made. Changes that needs to be made is that your right guard has to play better football. Abe Lucas, you're not going to see a Nick Bosa for a while now, so you should be good there. Nick Bosa is just that dude. Sam Darnold made good decisions for the most part, and your receivers need to win their one-on-one battles. So it's a progression. So I'm going to try to stay calm.
Okay.
They do need to play better, but I'm not panicking right now.
Keep calm, carry on into week 2 against the Steelers. Oh, I can't believe I didn't mention this. We don't have time to go to another what caught my eye, but I was looking afterwards at which defense led the league in forced fumbles last year. Anyone want to guess?
Seahawks?
Nope.
Steelers?
Yes.
Really?
Steelers led the league, technically tied with the Eagles, in forced fumbles last year. So that fumble issue that the Seahawks had in this one, got to tighten that up fast.
Tighten up.
All right, let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news with Bob and Stacy.
The Mariners put up 28 runs across 2 wins over the Atlanta Braves to take their first series of an otherwise tough road trip. What's the real headline?
The Mariners saved all their offense for a day the Seahawks had none.
Should have loaned us some.
It would have been nice.
Loan
you
us
did not
some
need
offense.
18 runs.
All we needed, 18, just give us 5.
You know what I'm saying?
And we win this ball game.
Honestly, it would have been nice to get like even 10. You could have won it with 3. You're being selfish. Give us 15.
Yeah, well, if there's anything positive to come from this weekend is that my Cougs got it done and the Mariners won. Did UW win? I didn't even check on UW.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked. Why, yes. Not only did Washington win, you're right, we ran out of fireworks.
Really?
Because we scored so many touchdowns.
Who'd you play? Who'd you play?
Does it matter?
The team.
Does.
You played
Was
the
it
team that was
UC
UC Davis.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
Okay.
That's a good one.
Listen.
I mean, I can't talk. We played San Diego State, but our expectations are a bit different than yours.
What are your expectations for this meeting between our two teams?
I gotta watch the film. Is it this week?
I know it's weird.
Yeah, that's crazy. Is it this week?
Isn't it? Or is it September 20th? No, I think it's this week, right? I remember thinking it was really, really, really early.
The
Like, it
fact
doesn't
that
feel
that's
normal.
why this is wrong, because we're even confused.
It's
Like,
either
hold on.
it's either the 20th or it's this upcoming.
I think it's the 20th.
Ian's looking it up. I swear in my mind it was
September
the third one.
20th.
20th. Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Let's say I would have been getting calls and a whole bunch of other stuff by now. But yeah, I mean, I think we got a shot. Got a shot. It ain't last year, but we got a shot.
Headline rewrites.
Pete Carroll, Geno Smith, and the Raiders allowed just 13 points from the Patriots in their victory yesterday. What's the real headline?
What happens in Vegas not only doesn't stay in Vegas, but also comes back to haunt you in week 1. From ESPN, the Raiders' 13 points allowed are their fewest in a season opener since 2000. A really fun start for Vegas. Maybe not a fair comparison to what the Seahawks did. They're going to naturally be compared as part of the same story, but taking on the 49ers a little tougher, I think, than the Patriots.
Yeah, it's going to be a little different, but good for Pete Carroll and Geno Smith getting off on the right start. Geno, 360, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. Jacoby Myers had a day. Brock Bowers had a day. We'll see how this thing unfolds. Like the same way I don't want to overreact to the Seahawks, I'm not going to overreact to the Raiders because they did play the New England Patriots. So let's just see how they chip away at this
I
thing.
just think it's crazy that you're ignoring that the Chiefs, that the Raiders are going to win the division. Oh my God, we didn't even talk about Friday night football, obviously, because we didn't work Saturday. Were you surprised that the Chargers beat the Chiefs?
Didn't I say they would?
You did.
I did.
You did. I should know that. Actually, I went
still
back
was
and listened.
surprised though.
Yes, I thought, oh my God, this division race, the Chiefs are not going to go 15-2. This division race will be tighter this year. I did not think it would start week 1. I did not think week 1 we'd see that. I thought, the Chargers are going to get into a rhythm. They're going to turn this thing on. The Broncos defense is going to be really, really good. We'll see what the Raiders do. I assume they're going to finish in 4th, but I just had optimism. I did not think week 1 would be when it started.
What's messed up is that most people probably still believe in the Chiefs more than the Chargers, even though they took that L right there. Yeah, because they got a history. They got the right guys over there. But I am happy for Justin Herbert. You know, that was one step in the right direction of really becoming one of the dudes in this league.
Headline rewrites.
The Bills scored 16 unanswered to stun the Ravens and get a win in Sunday Night Football. What's the real headline?
Let me tell you what, no one does regular season wins quite like the Bills.
Yeah, they're special. The Bills and the Ravens are special during the regular season and, a little bit into the playoffs as well. But then you find yourself going up against one of the greatest to ever do it, and you take that L. But they always give us these type of games, and I think the NFL did a good job putting them on Sunday Night Football. Who plays tonight? Minnesota and who?
I almost said the Cubs. The Bears.
The Bears. Okay,
yeah.
That should be a good one too. But no, Sunday Night Football. NFL, great job.
You know what I'm really excited to see, or eager to see, I should say, for this one? You weren't able to watch Lions Packers. It was in the same window as the Seahawks, and you were obviously working, but the Lions offense did not look great. And I think one of the natural conversations to come from it is, well, you have a new offensive coordinator. What did moving on, not just from both coordinators, but in particular from Ben Johnson, cost you? If Ben Johnson's offense looks really stellar for Chicago, it's just an interesting juxtaposition of like the Lions. I think they averaged 3-point-something yards per play, second lowest of any Dan Campbell Lions team since his time there. Like, it was a bad offensive day. Jared Goff sacked 4 times. I'm very curious to see what the Bears look like. Last year, there was a lot of hype around them. They didn't live up to the billing, but a bad head coach situation. This year, a little bit different.
Gibbs only had 9 touches in the run game. He did have 10 receptions, but only for 31 yards, 225 for Goff, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. I think the real story is my boy Jordan Love starting his campaign to be the best in the game. 16-22, 188 and 2 touchdowns.
My mistake. I forgot. I forgot that you were standing by the best quarterback in the NFC conversation will land this year on Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, great start. Great start.
Now, this is assuming that Matthew Stafford is standing upright, right? Like, this includes him being alive.
Matthew's part of this whole deal. I don't think Matthew did much this weekend either, though. 14-9 win. 245?
Yeah.
All right. Only 1 touchdown, though.
Sacked 3 times.
All right. There you go. There you go. We're throwing hands. Week 1, we're looking pretty good with Jordan Love.
You know what? It's just me poking holes, trying to come up with someone else, because the argument I'm definitely going to lose, the bet I'm definitely going to lose, is Russell Wilson.
Russ supposed to be
benched
halfway through this next game.
No.
Uncle's tired.
He's starting it. He's starting the game. We got a lot to talk about with the NFL. Coming your way next.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Gray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen.
But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's like, look at this. He's always looking for like extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Hey, what's up? It's Michael Bumpus for Silver Reef Casino. If you've never been, it's an easy drive up I-5, get off exit 260, and you are there. It's a great place to get away, to recharge, and get your mind right. They got comfortable rooms, they're spacious, free Wi-Fi, and they have tablets as well. When you're all packed in, go downstairs to the steakhouse or the cantina when it's time to eat. If you want to watch some games, go to Porter's Bay Sports Bar. The drinks are cold and the vibes are good. And my golfers, they have you covered too. Loomis Trails Golf Course, 18 holes with water almost everywhere. You better hit that fairway. And also got promotions going on. You can win $10,000 every Saturday this month with a grand prize of $50,000. They got events coming up too. You go to silverreefcasino.com if you want tickets for that. Silver Reef Casino Resort is not a secret anymore.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service. 98 years providing logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linens, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. Visit suplinen.com.
When your outside matches how you feel on the inside, that's kindness. And so I think that is the one thing that the Lee Johnson Auto family encourages us, is to be like really authentic and really be intentional in how we treat our customers and how we treat each other.
To have a good company, have a good culture, have a good crew that takes care of your customer base, you have to take care of your crew. You can't have miserable people and expect them to give a customer a good experience.
Walking in here, meeting some of the employees already before I was even hired on, welcoming me in, gave me a good indication what this company was all about. So if I were to make an hour and a half drive here and to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
It's not a script. It's a belief. The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. The best place to watch all your favorite sports. Featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, 6 windows, and 30 kiosks. Be there at emeraldqueen.com. Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today. 1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Ready to get rid of that old car? Donate it to Cars for Kids. Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation is super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now, 877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. That's Cars with a K to donate your car today.
1877 Cars for Kids. KARS Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your...
Did you know you can donate real estate too? Go to carsforkids.org. That's carsforkids.org.
The home of the Mariners.
One hopper snared at short. Not a quick hop by J.P. Crawford. That guy's a magician over there at shortstop.
Seattle Sports.
Download the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, Brock Heward here for my friends at PCF Construction. You know, it was a couple years ago. We were seeking a complete outdoor living space. Molly wanted a new deck. She wanted to really make our outdoor space pop. And boy, am I glad we called PCF. Why? Because whether it's a very specific project or outdoor living, like an underdeck ceiling, deck, patio cover, railings, PCF has you completely covered. You know, Molly's an interior designer. She knows construction. She knows attention to detail. And PCF, they checked every single box along the way. And right now is the time to make the call. Up to $6,000 off your project, plus no payments and no interest until 2027. And you can save an extra $1,500 when you bundle your deck with a patio cover. Find all the offer details, get project ideas, and browse photos at pcfgroup.com or simply call today at 425-629-8476. That's 425-629-8476, PCFgroup.com.
Are you frustrated with those trendy weight loss shots and not getting the long-term results you really want? This is Dr. Ryan Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and whether you've hit a plateau, can't handle the side effects, or watch the pounds creep back after stopping, there's a better way. Our program has helped over 4,000 people lose up to 10 to 20% of their body weight in just 8 weeks without expensive injections or uncomfortable side effects. Our doctor-developed program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast. Ready for real lasting results? Visit eastsideweightlossclinic.com now to schedule your free consultation.
Did he just say Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is half the cost and works twice as fast as weight loss injections? Well, if that's not reason enough, you don't risk the scary side effects or gaining the weight back as soon as you stop. Eastside Weight Loss Clinic is natural, and it works.
Many clients lose 20 to 30 pounds in a month or two, and you can do our program remotely from anywhere you live. Schedule your free consultation at eastsideweightlossclinic.com. That's eastsideweightlossclinic.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bad news for the Seahawks. You're the only NFC West team that didn't win in Week 1. We already know the 49ers won at the expense of Seattle, but the Rams and Cardinals also got Week 1 victories. The Cardinals beat the Saints 20-13. An efficient day for Kyler Murray, 21-29 for 163 and 2 touchdowns. The Rams held on for a 14-9 win over the Texans. Coincidentally, Stafford was also 21-29, though, for 245 and a touchdown. So you are 0-1. Everyone else 1-0.
It's hard out in the West, man, but the Cardinals played the Saints, and the Rams played the Texans.
Everyone played an easier.
I would say the 49ers are better than both of those guys. So they'll have to see the Niners, too. And you just be patient. And, it's going to be tough against the Steelers, too, man. You're going to Pittsburgh as well. That's going to be tough. The Hawks could start off 0-2 if Aaron Rodgers plays the way that he played last week, because the Jets have a formidable defense as well. There are no chumps over there. So things just got interesting, man. There's a lot of pressure going into this Week 2 game.
Speaking of that game, very relevant for the Seahawks, as you said. Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers, Seattle's Week 2 opponent, beat the Jets 34-32. Yet another close game in the NFL. The Jets finished with more net yards, more rushing yards. Brees Hall went over 100. Were better on third down, 1 time of possession. You scan the game sheet and you go, this game book makes me think that this team would have won. They did not. They won in part because the Steelers were a perfect 3 for 3 in the red zone, and also because kicker Chris Boswell sank a 56-yard field goal, leaving Mike Tomlin with this quote after the game.
And I can't say enough about Boz. And our kicker is a serial killer, man. He got a low pulse rate. He can't wait to deliver.
You have to, what? Call the cops. Our kicker's a serial killer.
Keeps that BPM down.
I like the way that he says it, too. It's just a very casual, our kicker is a serial killer.
He is, I wonder what his personality is really like. Because he's not just saying that because he's clutch. There has to be something about the way he is in the facility that keeps him mysterious and calm at all times.
Can you imagine if there's, really obvious signs? So, this guy might be a serial killer? He's just got a really weird vibe to him, but, man, can he kick a football.
We just can't prove it.
We just can't. Back to the NFC. The Lions fell to the Packers in Micah Parsons' Green Bay debut, and he did record a sack. Are the Lions feeling the absence of Ben Johnson? We were wondering this, and it's going to be a relevant topic heading into Monday night when Johnson takes over as head coach for the Bears in his Week 1 debut.
Yeah, they are, for sure. But the Packers are a good football team, too. And if you saw Micah Parsons' sack, it was like, I'm trying to describe it. It's like he got shot out of a cannon out of nowhere and chased down Goff. It was the most violent rundown I've seen in a while. And that's what they paid for. They got exactly what they paid for on that day.
The Bills put up 16 unanswered points to rally back into Sunday night's win over the Ravens. And if you notice the crowd thinning out early in the fourth quarter, you weren't the only one. In his postgame interview with Sunday Night Football's Melissa Stark, Bills quarterback Josh Allen called out fans who left the stadium early.
Josh came over and said, what did that mean?
There's just no quitting this team. Welcome to Buffalo. What a vet, taking the game-winning field goal in a tough, weird situation you don't see too often. He came in prepared, ready to go. Our team didn't quit. I think there's people that left the stadium. That's okay. We'll be fine, but have some faith next time.
Does he not sound a tiny bit like Patrick Mahomes?
He does.
Do you hear it? It's without the froggy. No, they both have a little bit of frogginess, but then Mahomes has the
Yeah, it's like it's raspy frogs, where his is a bit more smooth.
Have some faith in us next time. And then Allen's more like, have some faith.
He's the league MVP. He can call out whoever he wants to, especially his people, man. Why y'all leave?
And you know what? There are plenty of fans that were calling out other fans too. Look, I'm not leaving that Sunday night game. I know that it looked like a blowout, but that's a really cool game. Those are two great opponents.
If you were a season ticket holder,
both have won MVP.
If you were a season ticket holder and you had to work the next day early and you thought that game was over, you might leave. You know, I got
You're gonna see this team in the playoffs.
I got 7 more of these.
I don't know, man. I'm not gonna hate on someone who did it. I'm just saying, like, this is an objective. That's an expensive ticket.
You leave games early all the time.
This was the most anticipated.
You leave games early all the time.
No, I did last year. Not all the time. I left a couple games.
Couple games?
Yeah.
Yeah, you leave early.
Yeah, but now you can't because you're gonna sit in the garage for an hour.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
I wouldn't have left this game.
No?
No.
I might have.
Well, I sat and watched it.
I might have left.
No.
I stopped watching. I stopped watching. I thought it was over. So I'm for sure leaving.
Another announcer jinx. Maybe it is real. Geno Smith is the latest victim here. CBS color analyst Adam Archuleta was praising Geno's accuracy right when Geno threw an ill-advised pass into triple coverage that got tipped into the air and intercepted.
Geno Smith and the play calling so far, the variety of Chip Kelly's offense.
Listen, Geno Smith is who he is. He's put up numbers. He's been a tremendously accurate quarterback. He's an aggressive quarterback. The only real blip is last year. You see the 15 interceptions, and they struggled a little bit in the red zone, but this is who Geno Smith is. Very smart, knows where to go with the ball, and has all the talent to make the throws.
Again, all day to throw for Smith. That one deflected, and it's going to be picked. Jalen Hawkins.
That's a bad jinx. That is some bad timing on that one because it's the build-up leading into it.
And it was deflected, though, so it's not like it was entirely Geno's fault.
That's bad luck. That's a bad luck interception.
That's timing, man. This is all timing.
It would have been fitting to say, some of Geno's interceptions are bad plays and some of them are just bad luck. And then to have that happen would be like, all right, kind of making your case there. Titans head coach Brian Callahan's patience made it all the way to week 1 before snapping. Paul Kaharski, a reporter for the Titans, that covers the Titans, asked him about the team's horizontal passing game and whether throwing the ball sideways was really giving them the best chance to win against Denver.
What did you see that showed you that throwing the ball sideways was going to get them on the
Did you hear the play calls, Paul? Did you see him?
No.
Okay. Cool.
What were you expecting out of it?
He's had enough of Paul.
And also, throwing the ball sideways, I don't think I've ever heard anyone kind of describe it that way, like lateral maybe.
Yeah.
And most of the times when you are doing that, it's because everything that's deep is covered, so you have to go to the sides to complete your passes. That's where, I feel bad sometimes for some of these reporters because they are asking questions according to what they're seeing. And they might not have the knowledge. I know a lot don't have the knowledge of just, guys who really play the game. So when a coach is asked that question, he's like, what are you talking about? Did you not see they were in quarters coverage? So everything that we got deep was covered. We have to throw the ball to the sidelines to get the play off. So it's a bit early, but he's in midseason form when it comes to his temper, I guess.
I feel like the way I look at it as a reporter who's obviously never played is it is okay for me to know less about football than a head coach. It's, in fact, his job to know way more about football than I do. If you ask the question, I always think, in a genuine way, being like, hey, I'm just wondering. Like, honestly, Omar Kelly, when he said, hey, Tua, I know this sounds like a tough question, but I've noticed that in games when you have interceptions, you'll have like 2 or 3 in a game, and then you won't have any in the next game. Do you notice if you throw a pick that you maybe start to press, or do you feel more pressure in games when you guys turn the ball over? Like, what if you're asking from a genuine place that's one of curiosity and not of being patronizing?
Yeah.
I think what brushes coaches or players the wrong way is when you come in and go, hey, you are bad in coverage. And my question is, and then a player's going to be, or a coach is going to be like, what? What do you know?
Yeah.
So I think if you're asking earnestly, it's always fair. And that's when, if coaches are kind of rude, I think, like, this guy's just asking.
He's
like,
just asking.
It's okay for someone to not know, or it's okay
Enlighten
to say, it's okay to say, like, hey, can you help me understand why you decided to attack Denver's offense the way you did? It seemed like something I hadn't quite seen before. Like, why did you think that would be effective?
Yeah.
maybe the best way to ask that question. Have you ever heard a really annoying question or answer in a post-game press? You listen to a lot of those, like locker room interviews, obviously the post-game press conferences. Has there ever been anything where you went, why did you ask that?
I'm sure there has been. It happens a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not blasting my guys though.
Yeah. All right, we are opening up phone lines at 1. You've got 20 minutes to think of an answer to this one, and it's very, very easy. You just got to think about what you feel. What are your early impressions? What is your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks? Maybe you're excited. Maybe you're really down. Maybe you're curious. Maybe there's something that is just baffling to you coming out of this one, but we just want to know how you're feeling right now. We're trying to get a temperature check of Seahawks fans to see your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks 1 week in. Coming up next, Sam Darnold didn't throw a pick. He led the team down the field at the end of the game for what should have been a great 2-minute drill. What did we make of his debut? That's next.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Having talked to you after some of these games for the last year, you seem maybe a little more frustrated today.
Of course you're frustrated. We expect to win those games. And I believe we have a really good football team. It's a long season, but there's an urgency to go make it right and to get better. And this is a really critical week for us.
The Mike Macdonald Show. Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. What about when you want to sell your car, though? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, but how can you get the most you can without trying to sell it yourself? Stacy Rost here, and that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. They've already given back over $800,000 to their customers. You can go to the website to see pictures of giant checks for yourself. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're wondering right now. How are they able to do it? It's not a consignment because you get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage, no more headaches. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. It's just that simple. Get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn and let them do the work. WayscarFord.com. That's WayscarFord.com.
Summer can be the best time of the year, but if it's not feeling good in your house, if it's turning into an oven, some of the problems might be because you don't have enough insulation in your crawl space or attic. In fact, many homes in our region have damaged insulation or even none at all. Yeah, it's Mike Salk here, and you got to get somebody to check on it. That's why you call Crawl Pros. They'll come out and do a full corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic. And if it turns out that you've got a problem with your insulation, and maybe that's leading to bigger energy bills, guess what? Local utility companies have special incentives to help with the cost of getting your house properly insulated. In fact, if you're a PSC customer and your home was built before 1990, you could qualify to receive a rebate on up to 95% of the cost to get your attic properly insulated. Yep, 95%. Call Crawl Pros if you're worried about critters, mold, water damage, insulation issues, or anything else related to your crawl space or attic. Schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection at crawlpros.com.
Dave Wyman here, and since I stopped playing football, we've been fortunate to live in the same house for over 20 years. That type of longevity is a good thing, except 20 years in the same house means a lot of things start to break. Most recently, it's our windows. Virtually every seal has broken, and that's why I reached out to Harley Exteriors. They're local, they're huge fans of our teams, and big listeners to the station. Better yet, they have the best product. Olympic Series windows offered exclusively through Harley Exteriors are manufactured in Washington, designed for Pacific Northwest homes and climate. That means cooler in the summer and warmer in the winter. To celebrate the start of football season, the guys at Harley Exteriors are offering no interest and no payments for an entire year. Also, buy one window and get the second one 40% off. And take another $200 off your entire project. Call 833-HARLEY. That's 833-HARLEY. Or go to HarleyExteriors.com.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused. But for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with Snap Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
The home of the Mariners.
It is gone! Cal Raleigh, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
Bonneville International radio station contests are open to participants 18 years of age or older that are residents of Washington State unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contests are not eligible to win unless the station otherwise specifies at its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 60 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. Full general contest rules are available on seattlesports.com or in person at the station during regular business hours.
The Mariners postseason push is on, and there's a whole new way to be part of the action. Introducing the Homestretch Flex Plan, a $500 membership that gives you the freedom to choose your games and seats for the rest of the season, all while saving 5% on tickets and no fees. Plus, you'll get priority access to our postseason pre-sale. Come on board today at mariners.com/homestretch.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Coming up in 15, what's your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks? That number to call is going to be 866-979-3776. Let's talk Sam Darnold. We finally saw Sam Darnold as a Seahawk in a regular season game. Our early impressions. Bump, I was going to say, what are your early impressions? But instead, I'm going to phrase it this way. Did Sam Darnold look like someone who's doing what the Seahawks are asking him to do?
I think he did okay. I think he took what the defense gave him, honestly. He took what the receivers were giving him as far as them creating space and getting open. I don't think that he played a great game. I don't think he played a horrible game. I believe PFF had him one of the higher graded quarterbacks in the game.
Yeah.
And I know people can look at that, oh, PFF this and that, but it gives you perspective because I think it takes into account all the things that I said. His pass protection, the separation from his receivers, what the defense is giving him. He made good decisions for the most part. I don't think I remember a pass where I kind of held my breath, like, oh, my God, that was almost intercepted. No, he played himself a decent game. But you feel like in that game, you wanted more explosives, and you wanted him to be more explosive, but the way the game was called, I don't think it really allowed him to or required him to do that.
Do you think that it was intentionally calling shorter plays or just like trying to run the ball and then not getting anywhere with it?
I think not being able to run the football the way you want to affected the pass game. And then the, I guess, confidence of Salah to man up these receivers. I mean, they manned them up. I want to say at least 30, 40% of the time, man them up, and there was no separation. And as a quarterback, when you see man, you're going to go to your best option. You're going to look across the board. That motion is going to tell you whether they're a man or not, and then you got to make a decision. And most of the time, his decision was going to young JSN.
Yeah, and honestly, most of the time it worked. JSN had a pretty good day. I mean, if you were to add on a touchdown, it would have been like a solid fantasy football play for him. 124 yards of Sam Darnold's 150 total. So, again, heavily favoring JSN and his targets. And he technically, 134 left, helps them march down the field. 11-yard pass to JSN to pick up another first down. Incomplete to JSN, 2nd and 10, 40-yard pass to JSN.
Yeah.
1st and 10 again, incomplete to Walker, but defensive offsides give you 1st and 5. Walker no gain, 2nd and 5, and then that's the fumble.
Yep. It was working. And but now it's up to the receivers to understand that you're probably going to see a bit more man, and it's up to the coordinator to give them route combinations that allow you to exploit man, which are these crossing patterns and boots off of play action. You just got to get Sam Darnold moving outside the pocket a bit more. I didn't see enough of that.
253, guys, it did seem like the 49ers knew a few of the pass plays. Is that what it felt to you watching the game?
No, it felt like they just locked them up. Man.
Yeah, they were just a better team.
Yeah,
Personnel win.
They're just one-on-one. It's not like when you're in zone, I think that's where recognizing route combinations is really going to be advantageous because you're looking at the quarterback, you're anticipating, you're jumping things. When it's man, it's all body language. I'm on this guy. Is he opening up his stride? Is he breaking down? Is he attacking my leverage? And I think that's where good DBs flourish the most is when they play man because they're able to use their raw athletic ability. So, no, I think if anything the Niners knew, they knew when they were going to run the football and where they're going to run the football.
Is it fair to count on Sam to win this game? Again, 2nd and 5 from the San Francisco, I'm sorry, I kept saying 6-yard line. From the San Francisco 9-yard line. You are within 10 yards. From the 9-yard line, 2nd and 5. And then it's a fumble. Mike Salk's point this morning was, it may not be fair, but you're the quarterback. You're the highest paid player on the team. You are ultimately going to be asked to win a game. Ball's in your hands, less than 10 yards out of the end zone, 2nd and 5, and you fumble.
Yeah, it was not your doing, though. Abe Lucas got bench pressed. Nick Bosa came up with a big play. It's gonna the bulk of the responsibility is always gonna be on the quarterback because he has the football in his hands. But sometimes there are things out of the control of the quarterback. The quarterback can't control if Abe's getting pushed back into him and he's locked in on a receiver. If there's anything that Sam's at fault for, I think he took the wrong read. Cooper Kupp was open in the middle of the field. He puts a move on Fred Warner, goes across the middle. He's wide open. You throw it to him, that's ball game. Mm-hmm. And maybe if your eyes are there, you see the pressure, still having to feel the pressure. You slide a bit and you make the throw. End of the day, you're going to point at the quarterback. He gets paid the most on this offense. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, he should get the bulk of the blame. But if we're talking football, we're talking team sports, we're talking people doing their jobs, there was one person who lost that battle who was partly responsible for the end result.
That being Lucas. What did you see, if anything, that you liked, where you thought, okay, we can build on this? And I guess I should say for the offense as a whole, though this segment is focusing on Sam. So if the answer is about Sam.
No, it's Sam. I like the play down the sideline, the big play to JSN, the honey hole shot. That was great. I like the other play going towards the south end zone earlier in the game where he leads JSN to a certain spot, gets the ball down there. I think I like the play that Kubiak called on.
Oh, that little 9-yard scamper.
Yeah, the scamper before the half to put the ball in foot and go up 3 points. Sam threw some good passes, and for the most part, he was protected because he only got sacked one time. But just when it was time to make the play, he couldn't make it.
Do you think that, just because I'm getting this question a lot, that he locked in on JSN when he should have been looking around more?
Say it again?
Do you think he locked in on JSN too much? I think people assume, oh, he's locking in on his first read. Like this person, for instance, is saying Kupp was open a lot, all caps.
I didn't see Kupp open a lot. I saw opportunities for Kupp to get the football, but I think that if there was anyone who was creating more space, it was JSN.
Yeah.
I didn't see Kupp open a lot.
So maybe in that case, it's just Sam's looking at the guy where it's like, this is a lower risk throw. This is a guy that's got a bit more separation compared to a rookie who clearly hasn't had that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if I am Kubiak, I'm going to anticipate that my defensive line are going to see, my offensive line are going to see slants and twists because there are some stunts that they play or use on the offensive line as well that got them all jacked up. And I'm going to anticipate that, and I'm going to anticipate more man. So what do? More bunches, more rub routes. Like there were some combinations that I just didn't see that I saw during the preseason. And some of that's circumstantial. They're going off what the defense is giving them and how their players are playing. But expect man, expect blitz.
All right. Time to call. What are your early impressions? What is your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks? Call now. 866-979-3776. That's next.
The Mike Macdonald Show, the morning after every Seahawks game at 9:30 with Brock and Salk.
Having talked to you after some of these games for the last year, you seem maybe a little more frustrated today.
Of course you're frustrated. We expect to win those games. And I believe we have a really good football team. It's a long season, but there's an urgency to go make it right and to get better. And this is a really critical week for us.
The Mike Macdonald Show. Get the podcast on the Seattle Sports app and seattlesports.com.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Mom, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotion. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotion, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. Consequently, they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a blazing fast 5G network for just $25 a month. Dial pound 250 and say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
We at 3 Tree Roofing understand that your home is your castle. That's why our certified technicians use state-of-the-art installation methods to deliver the highest warranties available. Check out our hundreds of online reviews and schedule a free estimate to see for yourself. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Hey, Brock Heward here. Taking the First Mark Insurance Challenge could save your family a lot of money. It saved us thousands. First Mark works for you. Searching the carriers for lower rates and better coverage. If that sounds smart, go to firstmarkinsurance.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get in the zone, AutoZone. Summer's almost over, but the heat is pressing on. If you've got battery trouble, stop by AutoZone for free battery testing. It may just need a charge, and we'll do that for free too. If you do need a battery, we've got options starting at just $89.99, and we'll recycle your old battery for free. Now that's a strong start. Don't miss the end of summer sale, now at AutoZone until September 22nd. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Restrictions apply.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
Some things can steal your sunshine. Ugh, I just got my hair done.
Sorry, the cooler's broken. Anyone see my flip-flops? Anyone?
But COVID-19 can steal a lot more.
I just took a COVID test. Ugh.
Prescription medications for COVID exist. If you test positive this summer, ask your doctor if they're right for you. Visit PfizerForAll.com/COVID-19 to learn more. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Hi, I'm Chef Franklin Becker. You know the jingle. Now discover the facts about Ozempic, a GLP-1. There's only one FDA-approved Ozempic made by Novo Nordisk. Learn about the real thing.
Talk to your healthcare professional today. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and to learn more about Ozempic. Semaglutide injection 0.5, 1, and 2 milligrams.
Is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
MLS has suspended Inter Miami's Luis Suarez for 3 league matches. This after he spit on a member of Sounders staff after the Leagues Cup final. The Mariners are back in Seattle, opening a series tonight at 6:40 against the Cardinals. Pre-game show starts right here on Seattle Sports at 5:30.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Reaction Mondays, powered by the Snoqualmie Casino and Hotel, and we're ready to hear your reactions. What's your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks? Call now, 866-979-3776. You know, I'm so excited to get back to regular caller segments, which I like about sports radio. They spark lots of debates. It lets people kind of sound off about their team. I just wish that this was coming after a Seahawks win. That being said, a lot to dissect with this one. I'm already getting a ton of questions on the text line for you that we will get to and kind of like interspersed throughout some of these calls. Let's start with Noah in California. Noah, what's your early impression of the Seahawks?
Hey, guys. Thanks for helping us process this one. That was a painful one, but I really think the pieces are there. I think we did more than enough on special teams. I think the defense showed promise despite, some tackling issues, maybe a little bit underwhelming pass rush, and Rick Woolen, I felt like was super hot and cold. But on offense, we got to remember Sam Darnold, this is his first game as a Seahawk. I think as he settles into the system and we figure out the Charbonnet, Ken Walker balance, I think this team has a lot to be hopeful about.
Thanks for the call, Noah. Noah saying, look, there are some pieces there. There's a foundation. Did you leave this one feeling like, you know what? I liked this. I see some of the vision.
Yeah, I see the commitment to the run.
Yeah.
I think that there's opportunity to build off of that, right? To keep stacking the days and stacking opportunities. Defensively, you only gave up 17 points. McCaffrey didn't go crazy. He was probably more effective in the pass game than the run game. You caused 2 turnovers. Mm-hmm. There's something to build off of. It's not like these guys came out there and just stunk. All right, there's an adjustment period that needs to happen for Kubiak, for Sam, for all the involved on the offense. Defensively, if you hold a team to 17 points, you should probably win that game or be in a position to win that game, and they were.
Yeah, for instance, the Seahawks last year averaged 22 points per game, which obviously would have won this game, and they were only like 15th or 16th in scoring.
Mm-hmm.
So league average by year's end most of the time is going to be around 3 touchdowns. You're below league average when you're getting 13 or fewer for sure. Ross from the OC. Ross, what's your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks?
First time caller, long time listener. I felt that it was too conservative. I think the offense could have took more chances, especially in the play action. Maybe take 1 or 2 shots down the field. I think, my one question is to Bump, actually. As an offensive coordinator, do you like Sam Darnold going to his first read every time? I mean, isn't that what you want?
Let's let Bump answer that one. You just stay on the line. Don't hang up on Ross.
I think your first read is open. You take it. There's a progression. That's why it's called a progression, right? You go to 1 to 2 to 3 to check down, and you get the ball out of your hands, or you run out of bounds. But no, I'm not mad at him getting to his read first. And typically that seemed like it was JSN. But I think there should be more opportunities for other players to be the first read as well. Because once you start doing that, then defenses can't just lock in on guys. But it all comes down to matchups, man. If you can't win your one-on-ones, then Sam's going to lock in on his best receiver. And yesterday, that was JSN.
Ross, I see you had a question about Rick Woolen as well.
Yeah, I want to know if you guys think, his rookie year was a fluke. Like the first caller said, he was kind of hot and cold today. Am I jumping to conclusions or, because like you guys said, it's only first game.
Yeah.
So, I don't.
All right. Thanks for the call, Ross. I'm gonna add another question from Ross at the end of this. But first, was Reek's rookie season a fluke?
No, I don't think it was a fluke. I think that there's something that happens when there's no expectations sometimes, is you play a bit more free and there's no pressure. Mm-hmm. And then you put that year together, and there are a few things that could happen. I'm not in his brain, so I don't know exactly what's going on. You can either get comfortable or you can start pressing it and you're not playing as free. And I've been all the above. I've been the guy who's coming in, rookie, no expectations, you just do your thing. To where now there are expectations, now I just don't want to mess up, I'm pressing. Mm-hmm. And you're not allowing yourself to be free. When I deal with athletes, especially young ones, man, I got to remind them that if you're not just out there flying around, you're not going to make plays. Like, you're just not. If you're out there second-guessing, overthinking, playing tight, mistakes are going to happen. I don't know what is going on with Reek, if that is part of the whole deal, but he definitely doesn't look as free as he did as a rookie.
I agree with you. Obviously, your eye's much better than mine. I think that my immediate thought to this was just you can't fake athleticism. So I think flukish would be just that many interceptions in a season. That would be leading the league, and it was in pretty much any year. So, like, anytime you're getting – no one's averaging 7 or 8 interceptions a year. So that would be flukish, right? It's rare to hit 40 home runs in a season. So, like – it's fair to ask if someone hits 40 and they typically hit 25, is that flukish? And the answer is usually like, yeah, but they're doing it because they have the athletic ability. Reek isn't faking size-speed combo. He's in the top, 99 percentile of cornerbacks. Like, if you look at, a 4.2 40 for someone his size is just insane. It's the reason he's here, and it's the reason, frankly, that he's still a starter. And I think the key example of that is it ended up being a 49ers field goal. Third down, targeting Christian McCaffrey, I think, in the red zone. Any other corners there, that's probably a touchdown to McCaffrey, but Reek is fast enough to make up the ground, long enough to extend out his hand and just kind of tip the ball. And that's a play that you look at it and you go, well, shoot, he can do this.
Yeah.
How do we refine it? What'd you make of Ross asking if the offense was too conservative? Did you feel like it was?
I thought it was at times. I would call it more predictable than conservative, but it was a cautious approach. And there are a couple reasons why an offensive coordinator would be cautious. Maybe he feels as if his guys aren't ready for the complicated play yet. Maybe he feels like that play isn't set up. Maybe he feels like, listen, we just have to get downhill and be patient, and then I'll take my shot. Because there were some plays that had some stuff to it, right? There was JSN ran 2 double moves and had a big game. But it was more just building off of the outside zone. I didn't see enough being built off of that zone. Hopefully we see it this week.
Back to callers. Nelson and Kent, what's your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks?
Well, it's good to talk to you guys. It's been a long time. So my opinion is going to get blasted and hated, and that's totally fine. I stand on business, as they say. So what I'm going to say is, should have held on to Geno, should have held on to DK, and this is not a 1-week overreaction. It's just they are much better than Sam Darnold, and Cooper Kupp. Kupp looks completely washed, and we have evidence to back that up the last couple of years. Geno Smith is a great quarterback. Sam Darnold, the game ending on a red zone turnover, which is what the Geno critics would constantly go at, is just chef's kiss for me, because that side of the fan base, I'm sorry, guys, that side of the fan base does not deserve a winning football team. They deserve to see what quarterback HELL is really like. They really do, because this team has not had to go through that when everyone thought we were going to be going through that after Russell. So as far as the team, I don't know, man. I'm not bugged out. I just think, the defense is solid. We'll see if it gets there. Woolen still seems to like that. That reminded me of the Rams overtime game when Woolen got absolutely cooked.
How dare you mention that one, Nelson?
He just seems to do that at the worst.
Oh, hello?
The 49ers, you should win that football game.
Thanks
you give up only 17. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, you were breaking up for a minute there. I'm just going to roll. Well, real quick question before I let you go. Just because I already am anticipating what other listeners are going to think. You say it was a mistake to move on from Geno, but what about the report that Geno asked for a trade, or that Geno was kind of ready to move on?
I mean, we all know, there's been other reports, and Michael Sondegaard talked about this, where John was set on a number, had no interest in negotiating beyond what he wanted to do, and Geno's felt insulted, as he should. And I don't think there was really a huge rift between Geno and DK like people say, but even if there was, it doesn't matter. Geno is a great quarterback. He threw for 362 yards, absolutely dominated the Patriots. I know people like to point out that turnover, but so what? They were in control the whole game. They're going to be just as good as we are. The Seahawks, I don't know. Go Mariners. Luis Castillo had a great start. That was great to see. Let's hope they can ride off into the playoffs.
Let's hope, Nelson.
Big series coming up.
All right. Thanks for calling in.
Hey.
Thanks. So Nelson's saying, hey, ultimately you should have kept Geno and DK, and he feels like, look, I know that the report is that Geno was moving on, but this was also clearly a GM ready to move on.
Possibly. But that clearly is a week one overreaction, though. He says, not a week one overreaction. I go, well, you're reacting to week one, and we still got to give it time. He might end up being right. Who knows? He might end up being right, but you can't start your argument with, it's not a week one overreaction, and then you're clearly just throwing out the week one, what you saw from Sam and what you saw from Geno. Happy for Geno. I thought that Geno was just as good, if not better, than Sam Darnold.
I did too.
But I also knew that the relationship had been fractured, and you don't want that type of vibe in your room. So no matter who's at fault, it's best that both parties just move on.
I agree with all of it. I agree with you that, I look at Geno and think he's a better product overall. The one thing I'll say that's really a separate conversation, but a point that Nelson brought up is no one wants to be in quarterback limbo. It's a horrible place to be. I don't know that you had a quarterback answer with Geno, though. So that's the one thing where I'm you're just in a different level. You're in a different layer of hell. That's all it is. It's the 7 layers, Dante's Inferno. You're just at 5 instead of 6. That's the only difference. Your quarterback that you have is a better passer, I think, and is overall more accurate. And I think, has a great arm and a willingness to make plays, clearly knows how to do this. He's 35, and by no means am I looking at this game last night between the Ravens and Bills thinking you got an answer too, bro. No, you're still in limbo. It's just one is older.
If Geno is still here, he has, I think, almost the exact same game as Sam Darnold yesterday. And we come in being what are we doing with Geno again? I think the fact that there's turnover isn't a bad thing. He's going to figure out what the new offense is. It's week one. There's no need to overreact and be we have to bring back what we had before.
Let's go back to the phone lines. Orlando, but calling from Yakima. What's your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks?
First off, hey, thanks, guys, for taking my call. 5 years trying to get through out here in Yakima, Washington, Cooper Kupp country. I'm going to start on the defensive side of the ball. I thought they played stingy. They played hungry, and I don't have much negative to say about them. Yeah, Tariq Woolen, whatever. Everyone has bad days. Onto the offensive side of the ball, I feel like JSN, he is the man, and we need to get him help. Right now, whether that's Tyreek Hill, who's out on the market, or someone to take the top off the defense. Because Kupp right now, he's not looking great, and all these rookies we have, and then Bobo being out is not helping either. So we need to get JSN some help. Darnold needs a little bit more continuity. You could tell on some of those throws he was not in sync with some of his receivers, running wrong routes, whatever it was. I don't know what's going on there. Charbonnet, I don't know why enough people aren't talking about Charbonnet. He did amazing. He needs to be our starting back, in my opinion, especially against a defensive team like the Niners. He ran the ball down their throat, in my opinion, and he set the tone. Mike Macdonald talked about it this morning on his 9:30 a.m. with Brock and Sock.
Mm-hmm.
He wanted a physicality in our team to play yesterday, and that's exactly what we did. We punched the Niners in the mouth, which we haven't done in years, and they kind of faltered a little bit, and then they stepped it up, and then we came right back, punched them in the mouth again. Like, we haven't seen that solid defense since Cam, Earl, all those guys were playing with us. So I'm loving the defensive side, and that's pretty much it. It's one loss. It wasn't by much, and honestly, sometimes you learn more out of a loss than a win. So I'm okay with it. It's one game. Not a big deal.
Good call, Orlando. Thanks for calling in. 2 questions for me from Orlando's call. Would you trade for Tyreek Hill? Would you trade for a receiver bump?
I feel like you might need another one. I feel like you might need another one. Horton, I think, has the potential to be a good receiver.
In week 2, 3?
Cooper Kupp, I think, is still serviceable, but you need like another for sure thing.
Do you want to see more from Charbonnet? More usage of Charbonnet?
Yeah, I think Charbonnet should get the bulk of the carries, at least to start the game. But that's the good part about the running back room is that if one is struggling, you can go to the other one and just try to figure it all out.
It sure felt like they were. Charbonnet had more offensive snaps than Walker. Like, it felt like already in that game they were leaning into Charbonnet over Walker.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe just the run game wasn't working overall. 84 yards on the ground, nothing to write home about. But I wonder if we're going to see an even greater split.
It was pretty even, 10 carries to 12 carries, Charbonnet.
True. Let's go to Chris calling from Boston. Chris, what's your early impression of the Seahawks?
It was a good game. I agreed with a lot people said about, especially Reek and everything that went down there. When we got to halftime, though, because our offense couldn't stay on the field, I was looking at the time of possession stats, and I was really worried about what that was going to look like in the second half. And it did continue, and the defense was on the field most of the game. But I got to hand it to the coaches, like, especially in week 1, the conditioning was so good. Those guys were running out on the field. They didn't look gassed at all. I was curious, Bump, especially what you thought of what you were seeing as a defense and their conditioning.
Thanks for the call, Chris.
No, they look good.
Mm-hmm.
They look good. I think I would like to see a bit more pressure being created, even though they did create pressure, they just couldn't really get their paws on Purdy. I think that's part of one of the most underrated parts of his game is his elusiveness. He's able to get outside the pocket and buys us some time. I remember the first time we saw him here, he was in the pocket and pivot out that thing and pump faked and got to the sideline. He's a little quick one. He's like that point guard on your high school varsity team that's not going to play college ball, but he's in complete control of the whole game.
I will say to Chris's point that one of the first things Mike Macdonald said, both in his postgame press conference and with Brock and Salk this morning, is really, really liking the effort. And Chris, you're right. I think part of that was him going, they wanted it. They were out there. They were not getting tired. They were giving it their all in a tough time of possession split too. So I think Macdonald also really impressed with that. Dalton calling from the Tri-Cities. What's your early impression of the Seahawks?
I just think that the Seahawks, it's week 1, a whole new quarterback, new receivers, new head coach. I just think it's a little quick to judge. I mean, I don't know your guys' opinion. I'd like to hear that. But I just think it's we're going to get things rolling, and the next thing you know, it's wild card weekend. Here we are playing and ready for the Super Bowl. Yeah! We're going to the Super Bowl.
Thanks for the call, Dalton. It's giving Eagles varsity.
It is.
EAGLES.
Definitely giving those vibes.
Dalton. You talked a lot, obviously, during the course of the show about your impression from this one. I'll sum it up by saying you're definitely not overreacting for week 1.
Nah, it's a day marathon. I looking at the past game, the game against the 49ers, I could say, all right, your guard still needs some help. Maybe you need another receiver. And let's build off of the run game. Let's build off of the zone and use more. I didn't see enough boot. I was so surprised I didn't see boot. I'm so surprised that we saw toss, we saw wide zone, we saw inside zone, but I didn't see a lot of boot off of that. And I think that is where you get the most influence, is when you boot. And we saw the 49ers do that a lot yesterday.
Do you have an early theory as to why we might not have seen as much of it? Like, what are you thinking?
I don't know. I don't know why. I don't know why. I think sometimes play callers get caught up in what they think they're seeing, and you go with your gut. You go with what information you're getting, and maybe you forget about some stuff. I don't know. But I think that with as many times as we ran the outside zone, the boot was ready to go.
George calling from Seattle. What was your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks?
Hey, Bubba. Thanks for taking the call. Long time listener, first time calling. I just wanted to give a shout out to the 12s real quick, man. We brought it, everything we had on Sunday. I was there, and we got that place up to like 112 decibels. Now for my impressions. I don't know why you have George Kittle unblocked butt naked on a Sunday in the red zone. I'm not sure that if that was Josh Dale over there trying to cover him or whatnot. That was a little mind-blowing to me. And one thing to see how Kubiak is going to adjust when we go to Pittsburgh, because like Bump was saying, there's a couple things that we could have done that I didn't see him do. Maybe if we were missing our one-on-ones or something along those lines. But we saw it against, what was that, KC? That opening drive where everything was nice and creative. And, I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts.
Thanks for the call, George. Let's start with George's first point. George Kittle being butt naked on a Sunday. What'd you see on that touchdown to Kittle?
I saw a safety and soft coverage with inside leverage, and I believe he had help inside and over the top. And that was respect. He's looking at George Kittle. This is Ty Okada, Montana State, undrafted free agent, made the team. You're looking at George Kittle, future Hall of Famer, and you're thinking, oh my gosh, here we go. I'm going to give him too much respect, too much cushion. I'm not going to believe what I'm seeing and break on him. But that's the difference between a first, second round pick and an undrafted guy. Undrafted guys can work out. I've seen it work out all the time. But there's just a talent and a belief. Okada could be fine when it's all said and done. But that was his first real welcome to the NFL. Holy crap. That's George Kittle over there moment.
Much like George saying he wants to see a few things look a bit different against the Steelers. If you had to pick right now, like I'm going to be watching for this from Kubiak's offense against the Steelers. And I know this is before you seeing what the Steelers defense is giving them, but something where you're like, I'm going in kind of with my eye on this.
I want to see more split zone. So what that is having your two backs, having your fullback, say you're running zone right, having your fullback take care of the left side. Because a lot of the times I saw these tight ends trying to take care of the end and then chip the end and then climb to the linebacker. And they just look young, like a Royal looked young doing it. AJ was fine, but what that does is it allows that tight end just to get to that second level right now. You split zone, you hit that in, and you're good right there, and then you can build off of that. Now instead of hitting the end, you're chipping off of him, you're faking the zone right, and now you're booting it. You know, it's just – and I saw that during the preseason. I saw that several times during the preseason. So just more crossing, more of fullback this way, running back that way, and now we can build off it. More of motioning the tight end this way to take care of the end there, and you running the other way. Because once you start crossing things up, linebackers get cross-eyed, and they don't know where to go.
All right, let's go to Rob. Rob, what's your early impression of the 2025 Seahawks?
Hey, I was coming back from the Coug game and listening on the radio, and it was so apparent their defense. Were they out there the whole third quarter?
Pretty much.
Who's going to give them a break? They got to be exhausted.
Yeah.
The whole third quarter. I mean, that was it was around 15 minutes if you count the third quarter and the start of the fourth. But that and Reek, you got to catch the ball at the highest point. Anytime there's a ball up for grabs, highest point.
Yeah.
And then the last thing is playing not to lose. They should have went for it on that Cooper Kupp short little gainer they needed. Wouldn't have got it. It would have been tied. They would have still had time. You just gave them the ability to come back and do what they did. So you didn't control your own destiny. So that's my three things. But I think overall, glad to find out these problems early on than in the middle of the season.
Yeah. Thanks for the call, Rob. Rob's right. Time of possession was crazy. It was like 38 to 22 minutes. It's the first thing Mike Macdonald said in his interview with Brock and Salk this morning, that to him it was the most important stat. Exactly what you said about Riq Woolen, just like needing to attack it. Would you have gone for it on that field goal?
I'm completely fine with what he did. I'm all about the points.
Yeah.
And the way your defense was playing, you felt like maybe they could have come up with a stop for you.
All right, let's see what's on tonight.
What's on tonight with Bump and Stacy, brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot. Now, here's what's on tonight.
The Mariners are on tonight. They start their series against the Cardinals. First pitch at 6:40 p.m. Shannon Dreyer will have the pregame show at 5:30 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports. The latest from Mike Macdonald next.
28 runs in their last 2 games.
Home run Geno into the Mariners bullpen. The massive offensive day for the Mariners continue.
The Mariners are back home at T-Mobile Park for the penultimate homestand of the season. And every game matters in the push to the playoffs. Tonight, it's the first of 3 against the Cardinals. First pitch at 6:40, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 in the Seattle Sports app.
Start having fun. Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot. This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. All so that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-486-9600. That's 800-486-9600.
At Fisher Investments, we may seem like other money managers, but we're different.
What makes you so different than the rest of us?
We ensure clients receive unparalleled service at every step of the relationship.
Tell me more.
Our investment counselors focus on service over sales, prioritizing clients' needs.
How do you make money?
We don't sell any commission-based products. We have a simple management fee based on the value of our client's portfolio. So we do better when our clients do better.
What about client portfolios?
We get to know each client, their finances, family, health, lifestyle, and more, and then we tailor a portfolio based on their specific goals and needs.
Your clients really come first then, huh?
Yes, we make them a top priority. Our goal is helping them achieve a comfortable retirement.
Wow, maybe we are different.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different. Learn more at FisherInvestments.com.
Investing in securities involves the risk of loss.
Guys, did you know your testosterone affects everything in your system, including how you feel and perform every day? Right now, Revive Men's Health Seattle will check your testosterone for free. Knowing your T levels is the first step in understanding if you have low T. Your testosterone level impacts your energy, libido, sleep, weight, hair loss, mood, and even ED. Maintaining an appropriate T level can change your whole life. Most men start to see changes in their hormone levels in their 30s. Experience and results matter. So what are you waiting for? Get your T levels checked today by local, experienced, and trusted men's health experts. They've helped thousands of men since 2011. They're so confident they can help you, they even guarantee it. Call Revive today and schedule your free testosterone test, free exam, and free consultation. Call Revive Men's Health at 206-529-1111. That's 206-529-1111. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The home of the Mariners, Seattle Sports.
Cal swinging a drive deep to right field.
Every pitch of every Mariners game is on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey, it's Shannon O'Kelly from IRG, and Wednesday, September 17th, Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is having a free live webinar to talk all about stem cell therapy.
I'm really looking forward to this live webinar to educate on how using your own stem cells can be an extremely successful method to help regenerate native tissue in rotator cuffs, meniscus tears, and reduce pain in osteoarthritic joints.
Which joints have you seen good success with?
Shoulders, elbows, hips, knees, even wrists and ankles. And in this live webinar, we'll tell you all about the procedure, how simple and safe it is using your own stem cells, and how we determine if you're a candidate.
Dr. Wagner has performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Are you in pain? Join the free live stem cell webinar Wednesday, September 17th at 6 p.m. to learn about stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Register at drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
When you own a business, it feels like everything's on you. Orders, deliveries, employees, on you. That's why Comcast Business is giving you a year of mobile on us with your internet service. Really? Yep. We'll cover your first line of mobile for 1 year. So calling customers, getting directions, texting Janine and shipping, on us. The broken coffee maker? That one's still on you, which means you'll save hundreds for your business and get the fastest mobile service with 5G cellular and Wi-Fi hotspots on us. But hurry, this deal won't last long. Get a mobile plan and free up the budget to maybe, I don't know, fix that coffee maker? Get mobile on us for 1 year, you guessed it, on us. Comcast Business, powering possibilities.
Ends 10/9/25. Restrictions apply. New mobile customers only with internet standard service or above. Limited to value of one unlimited intro line apply via 12 monthly internet bill credits. One discount per account. Fastest mobile based on mobile Wi-Fi and cellular data in service areas. Ookla Speed Test Intelligence 2H24.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
We learned a lot from Mike Macdonald in the Mike Macdonald Show this morning with Brock and Salk, an exclusive interview until he speaks to reporters later today. Later today, we're waiting to see if there's a more official update on Nicky Manwari, and that's kind of what I'm watching for. Otherwise, we learned a ton about his thoughts on this game. Let's start with this one. Mike Macdonald on Walker and Charbonnet.
Both played well, I thought. I gotta go back and get some more details on who got what read and what was there for what guy, and we'll kind of get all that stuff ironed out. But I thought both guys were playing well, protected our quarterback. I thought they caught the ball well. There's going to be more opportunities for both of them moving forward, and that's how we'll treat it.
That sure sounds like a head coach who knows his running backs are talented and thinks failure to really run the ball is probably more of an offensive line, what the defense is giving you kind of issue.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit of everything. But you're correct. It's the reason why they weren't able to run the football effectively. One, mark my words, that 49ers defensive line is going to be ranked top 6 or 7 at the end of this year. They are good. Better than what I thought they were going to be. 2, they did a good job of disrupting the flow and the timing of these combo blocks. So where this offensive line, say you double team the one tech, so that's the guy in between the center and the guard, and the guard or the center, depending on the angles, climb to this to the linebackers. What that defense was doing a good job of was pinching and slanting to where the rhythm of that double team to the linebacker was just thrown off. Mm-hmm. So now the running back is getting the football, and there's a guy right there. And, this is a zone scheme, so there's some flow to it. You can bounce back and do all that or whatnot. But they were just jacking it all up. The backside of things, there are some tight ends who struggled on the backside. On the backside of a zone, if you don't block the end, that tight end, again, is climbing to that second level, whether it be a safety or a backer or whatnot, and those guys are flying and just disrupting things. It was like little – you ever seen the video of the birds that fly into water and grab fish like torpedoes? Mm-hmm. That's what it looked like to me. Like their little torpedoes is flying through the gaps and jacking up the run. So that goes to, one, Salah calling a great game, getting these guys ready, and two, the lineman not being able to sort that stuff out. Then you get to the running backs. There are times where I saw Ken Walker run right at a guy, but I'm like, bruh, little to the left. There's a gap right there. But then I try to put myself in his shoes to where everyone's telling him, just get downhill, just get downhill. So there's a fine line of being yourself, which is being capable of making a big play, and just getting downhill. It's week 1. I think someone texted, this isn't baseball. You can't say it's week. Yes, I can. It's week 1. You think you're going to have a finished product on that football field? You can get towards the middle of the season and understand we might not have enough personnel-wise, but no one in the NFL is losing their minds off of a week 1 performance.
Yeah. I mean, again, too, my expectations entering the season for the Seahawks weren't Super Bowl per se, but I did think they could be a playoff team, and I have maybe more questions about the offense, but I can also recognize you've got a new coordinator, a new quarterback, a lot of stuff you got to iron out. You know who was horrible on offense this past Sunday? The Lions. They have Super Bowl aspirations. They've spent a ton of money, a ton of draft picks in their offense, whether it's their running backs, a first-round pick in that group, their offensive line, a couple first-round picks in that group. Obviously, a massive trade for their quarterback. In that case, it was more like they were selling as opposed to buying. But still, they have Super Bowl aspirations. The Ravens lost in heartbreaking fashion last night. I don't know that there was much more their offense could have done except for not fumbled on a key drive. Like, there are a lot of teams leaving this Sunday going, man, we tweak 1 or 2 things and this is a different outcome. Like Bump said, a lot of close games this weekend. I have a lot of questions about this team, but I don't know that I feel really bad about them. Let's talk about JSN and the need for adding some help at wide receiver.
I mean, he played well. He's productive. I think Jack's be the first person to tell you there's more opportunities for him out there where we expect more of some of those situations for him to come through. And he'll do that, but he'll be the first one to tell you that. Look, we got great players on our offense. I mean, some guys that haven't really proved it yet and haven't done it, but they've done it in practice. Guys like Torrey and Elijah. But I mean Cooper Kupp's going to get open, man. Like the guy, he's done it all camp. He's a great player. We got great tight ends. I think our backs can come alive in the pass game. So we got plenty of guys where the ball can go to and did, and it will, moving forward. But our guys we're going to be just fine.
Say, look, you don't want the offense to just be the JSN show. As much as notorious diva Jackson Smith and Jigba would love it to be the JSN show, you need someone else to be a co-star.
Yeah, you do. Most offenses have that. I mean, you look at what Baltimore did. You got Derrick Henry, you got Zay Flowers, you got Hopkins, you got some tight ends. Hard to compare your personnel to their personnel, but the best offenses in the game have multiple options because there's going to be days where teams take away that option. Their main objective is to take away your main option. You got to have some guys who could to fill that void. So I want to see how they unlock Cooper Kupp. Like, what does that look like during week 2?
Let's see. Let's talk about playing complementary football.
Yeah, I think probably the most indicative stat was the time possession. The number of plays we ended up playing on both sides of the ball was pretty lopsided. I think we affected the ball on defense, which is good. So turnover margin, we were ahead there for a long time, part of the game, and Jackson, we got to take care of the ball there on the screen pass, and obviously the fumble at the end. So we'll keep bringing the ball to life on defense, and we need to protect it on offense and special teams. I thought we did a good job protecting the football. And I thought those guys played really well. But the time possession was probably the most indicative of just playing complementary ball. And it's not just the offense. It's not our offense just, not playing as well as they feel like they should and as we expect them to play. But it's also defensively. I mean, I got to look at like the early down numbers and see how we played on first down and second down. But it seemed like there was probably more than usual second or third and shorts, third and manageables for the Niners. And I think, they were 50%, if I remember right, on third down.
Okay to lean into your defense as the strength of your team and let them set the tone. Not okay to have them on the field for 40 minutes of clock.
No, that's rough, man.
That's a lot.
It's that means, like I pointed out earlier, there were several plays where there were negative yards gained for the Seahawks, like 3 -6, 3 plays -5, 3 plays -4. I think I want to say there was 3 of them. So that's a quick turnaround. That's when the defense goes to the sideline. They sit down. They're getting coached up. And they're like, oh, dang, hey, we back out
Put the
there.
tablet down already?
Back out there. And it wasn't like the Niners were going on these super long drives as far as yards, but it was just as far as plays. They go on 11 plays, 52 yards, 14 plays, 60 yards, because they were just connecting the dots. They were nickel and diamond. They were using McCaffrey out the backfield on these angle routes that were killing them. They were okay being patient.
Mm-hmm. Mike Macdonald was asked whether he's a bit more frustrated by this loss. I think that was Mike just saying, you sound a bit more frustrated. We've talked to you after losses. This one, you sound a little frustrated.
Well, no. One, yes, of course you're frustrated. We expect to win those games. And I feel like we're good enough to do that. So, yeah, I was going to be frustrated with it. But like I told the team after the game, I believe we have a really good football team. And I trust the guys in the locker room. I trust our coaches. And it's a long season, but there's an urgency to go make it right and to get better. And this is a really critical week for us to take a big step and to become a better football team. So that's where I'm at. I'm just kind of right now. It's just I'm in the process of us after watching the tape, and I don't have all the answers yet for you. I wish I did. But we'll get those over the rest of the morning and when the players get here, and then we'll move forward.
I'm reading into it, reading between the lines. I don't know that this is true. It's nothing that I've sat and talked with Mike Macdonald about. I would imagine that he's frustrated, thinking that they should have won, and also that maybe they're repeating some frustrating mistakes for him. So I don't know if that means individual players. I don't know if that means this offensive line issue should be improving. This cornerback shouldn't be making this mistake. That whatever it is, he's probably thinking what else do I need to say? And granted, being very measured, saying I have to fix it. Here I am. I'm head coach. I just am right now.
He's the head.
I do think there's an exasperation there.
I think he was disappointed.
Yeah.
I think he thought the performance would be better.
Yes.
And he's not struggling, but he is searching to find solutions, and that's exactly what he should be doing.
And I hope they find them ahead of week 2 against the Steelers on the road for this one. Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776.
Seahawks make a move. Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
Abe Lucas signs a 3-year, $46 million extension. How about that?
I've said I think he's the most spectacular offensive lineman until Gray Zabel takes over, because I fully expect that to happen. But when you watch Abe Lucas, it's look at this. He's always looking for extra work, or he's running downfield and blowing somebody up.
Dave Wyman and Bob Stelton, only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Everyone wants to get the best deal they can when they buy a car. But what about when you want to sell your car? Of course, you want to get the most money possible, duh. But how do you get the most you possibly can without selling it yourself? Well, that's where my friends at Wayscar Ford in Auburn step in. Not only will they buy your car today, but that's just the beginning. Once they resell your old car, they send you another check for 50% of the profit of the sale of your old car. Seriously, they've already given back over $800,000 to customers. It's such a great offer, and I know exactly what you're thinking right now. Okay, how are they able to do it? It's not a consignment. You get paid for your car right away. Wayscar Ford pays you right up front. They buy your car for fair market value. No more insurance, no more maintenance, no more storage. Then they pay you half the profit when they resell your car. So get the most money possible for your old car at Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn, and let them do the work. That's wayscarford.com.
Upgrade your home's comfort, style, and energy efficiency before winter during Lake Washington Windows Autumn Savings Event. Save $500 on every window, $1,000 on every door, plus enjoy 0 payments and 0 interest for 12 months. Details at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
You never get a second chance to make a first impression. Superior Linen Service will help your company with logoed apparel, uniforms, floor mats, linen, and more. Give us a call. We answer the phone. Superior Linen Service. It's what we do. Visit suplinen.com.
The ballpark is rocking like 2001. Let us clear up your allergies so you can enjoy more of each game. Hey, it's Dr. Ryan Stern of the Stern Sinus Center. Let us fix your ear, nose, and throat problems. Let's make your congestion, sinusitis, snoring, and allergies a non-issue. We can diagnose and treat everything from allergy testing and treatments to modern nasal breathing procedures to advanced balloon sinuplasty. Come and see us in Federal Way in Auburn or at sternsinus.com. That's sternsinus.com.
I have a handful of stories that really affected me personally in my career and how I handle employees. Lee Johnson coming out of his office as a customer asked me where the service department is. I was like, yeah, go to the end of the hall, go up the stairs, go across the breezeway, open a door, go to the left. You want Chevy, go to the right. You want Mazda? Because I didn't even have enough time to say, hey, what kind of car do you have? Here comes Lee, and it's like, oh, ma'am, come with me. Let me show you. And then have him come back and not dress me down. It's just almost like with that fatherly disappointment of like, hey, that's not how we take care of people. I mean, the right way is to walk her down to the stairs, walk her up the stairs, open the door for her, go over, across the way, open up that door, introduce her to somebody. So she's comfortable, she's made it to the right place, and that we value the business. What you did was you made it seem like she was an inconvenience to you. Customers are the purpose of our day.
The LJ Way is the Lee Johnson Auto family.
It's G. Scott. School's back and it's rally time. Time to rally around the campaign to keep kids healthy. Kids need fruits and veggies to grow strong and stay focused, but for families on tight budgets, that's not easy. Safeway and the Washington State Department of Health have teamed up and need your help. Every dollar you donate at Safeway checkout helps families in need. And with SNAP Produce Match, they get twice as much for the dollar. Next time you're at Safeway, please donate to keep kids healthy.
The home of the Mariners.
Left off to center. It is on its way. Julio, 2-run home run.
Hear every pitch on 710 and the Seattle Sports app.
Now is the time. We talk about it year-round, but roofing season really is upon us. It's Mike Salk here. So what makes it roofing season? Long, dry days where roofing crews can work realistically sun up to sundown. They're cranking out projects all over our region, and Riverside Roofing is, of course, leading the charge. Local to Marysville, Riverside Roofing serves the entirety of Western Washington. They do amazing work. They've earned my recommendation, plus industry awards like GAF Master Elite's President's Club, a status fewer than 1% of roofing companies in the entire country actually achieve. Get a roofing quote in less than 60 seconds using Quick Quote directly on riversideroofingllc.com. It'll pop up as soon as you go on their website. During and after your roofing job, you can expect a yard and driveway totally clean of debris. Behind their national accolades is a family company from right here in Marysville, built upon important local values like trust. That's why Riverside Roofing is the local roofing company you can trust. Go to riversideroofingllc.com.
History, it had the gold rush. Then came the oil boom, the tech boom, but right now it's the Wi-Fi boom, and Xfinity Wi-Fi is booming. Xfinity has everything you need to tap into the Wi-Fi boom with seriously powerful and seriously reliable connection. It's got 99.99% network reliability and incredibly low lag, so your streams are smoother than making a decision on what to stream. And did I mention that you can even connect to hundreds of devices so you, your kids, your parents, your poker group, and whoever else is at home can all experience the Wi-Fi boom with Xfinity. And the Wi-Fi isn't the only thing that's booming. Get the most reliable Wi-Fi and our best in-class equipment for one consistent price for 5 years guaranteed all in. Plus get unlimited data included and no annual contract, all with the 5-year price guarantee from Xfinity. Visit Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply, not available in all areas. New residential customers only. Select plans only. Xfinity Gateway with X5 Complete required for unlimited data except in certain areas. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024. Actual speeds vary.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Let's see. I don't know what this person was saying about the Ravens. Do you see any opportunities to use Jalen Milroe that we missed?
No.
Yeah?
No.
I just think it's okay if he's not quite. You don't want to.
He's not like waiting around like Jackson Dart. You know, Jackson Dart.
Excuse you.
He's chilling.
Russell Wilson is ready
chomping.
to lead them to the promised land.
He's chomping.
They will
at
win
the
this
bit.
game against the Cowboys in Dallas.
Will they?
And you're just nervous about me winning this bet because Russell Wilson's going to throw for 3 touchdowns. And Aaron Rodgers is going to struggle against a very good Seahawks defense.
I've never been more confident in the bet in my life, honestly.
I think you need to learn ball.
Bump, what week do you think Russ gets replaced?
Stop it.
3.
Let me win this.
Week 3.
Why did I ever choose? You know why? Because you picked first.
No, it's because you're loyal.
No,
And-
I'm not loyal. No, not to Russell Wilson.
Well, clearly, because why
Seahawks
the
fandom.
heck else would you?
I
would you play?
forget
Or
how we decided
leave him?
who had which quarterback.
No, you were just thinking that Aaron Rodgers was washed and old,
Oh,
and that
you're
Russell's
right.
younger.
Yeah, I
Aaron
forgot.
wasn't on a team when you were picking, so he was like.
You're totally right. I
you
was
thought you
convinced
were
that
gonna
he was.
win.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I forgot that I was feeling very confident and full of myself in that moment. You're right. Okay. Yep, that was on me. That was entirely
You're
my
right.
fault.
You guys hear that? Stacy told me I was right.
866-979-3776. Hey, speaking of Aaron Rodgers, seeing the success the Jets had running the ball against the Steelers yesterday, do you feel optimistic about the run game on Sunday? Breece Hall went for over 100. They had a pretty good day on the ground.
Yeah, the Jets also have a quarterback that poses a threat to run the rock as well, so that kind of helps. But yeah, Breece was getting loose. I felt like during the pregame show, every time I looked up at the screen, he was doing something. So yeah, you should be encouraged by that, but also realize their personnel is a bit different over there.
What I need to know, if you saw a food truck that specialized in PB&J, would you need to try it?
No.
They would know me on a first-name basis. They would see my car in the parking lot and know to start making my usual.
Here's my thing.
How does one make a bomb
you.
PB&J?
Okay, no, because I think that this is a fair point. It's kind of like the moon stuff, like Bump's making some points. Because the way I feel about this is, if you're a food truck that specializes in PB&J, what's the twist?
What's
the
twist?
angle? How are you selling yourself? Is it
You know
like,
it's going to be good.
They're gonna be goddamn they're gonna be perfect.
well, no. You need
What-
to be like, I'm
How
not
is
paying money
one
unless it's like
PB&J different
Thank
from
you.
the other one?
Now maybe you have like a PB&J that's like s'mores. PB&J that's a bunch of different flavors. PB&J with marshmallow. Like, what's the twist? We need a twist.
It's got to be something, because my PB&Js are bomb. And I'll make 3 of them things at one time.
Yeah, for like
and not have to
$5
pay.
for 20 sandwiches.
Yeah.
I don't know. I would be intrigued if a PB&J food truck pulled up outside of our building. I would want to learn more. I would have
Yeah,
questions, and
I'd
I would
have
go
questions.
to investigate.
Give me a sample size. I need a sample.
Exactly. I went to a great public research institution, the University of Washington, and I'm big on researching and finding out information. I would need to know, but I got to know the answer there. 866-979-3776. If you could swap a position group with any team, what team would you pick and what group are you improving? What a great question. Right now, my gut says wide receiver, and I'm taking the Bengals.
Yeah, that'd be one. Or the
Rams
Phillies
D-line.
offensive line.
Oh, the obvious answer, like
Yeah.
the exact thing you want to do, be able to run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because it's like you could take a great running back room. What's Saquon do? No disrespect to Saquon Barkley or to Bijan Robinson or Derrick Henry or any other good running back. What are you going to do if your offensive line's having a really hard time?
Not a dang thing.
Thank you for the radio edit. Ian. 866-979-3776. What I need to know. Devin Witherspoon is mid. Convince me otherwise, says the 509. Well, I think you're mid.
I know you are, but what is he?
I bopped him for you.
I don't think he's mid. Give him some time this year. We'll be all right.
I think the best argument you can make for that is there is more to the performance of a defensive back than just interceptions.
Yeah, that's where people they lose it a bit. I understand why you look at that. I think that is a way to throw someone in the mix, but if you're deterring throws your way because you've just got it all locked down, that's a good stat as well.
This person said double stackers. So like peanut butter and jelly, but like the Big Mac version where there's a slice of bread in between.
It's too much bread.
That's
I'll
too
try
much bread.
everything on their menu once.
No, I think it needs to focus on the fillings and it needs to focus on a variety. So not only a million different flavors of jelly, but you need to have some creativity with like hazelnut. Maybe it's a hazelnut and raspberry peanut butter and jelly sandwich. So it's not really peanut butter
Is
and
that
jelly.
a PB&J?
Well, no, but it would be a twist on the PB&J truck. Can't just be PB&J. Like
Disagree. strongly disagree.
You ever had a deep fried Uncrustable?
No.
Yeah.
I've never had it deep fried, but Uncrustables are good.
Yeah.
Deep fry them. I'm going to the State Fair next week. I've been looking forward to a deep fried Uncrustable.
Am I a conspiracy theorist if I think Uncrustables are getting smaller?
No, it's been about the same size.
I don't know, man.
I think
gotta do
Pete's
some
last
research.
year, I heard a crazy stat of how many Uncrustables they go through up there.
Do you remember?
I don't. It was
Well, wasn't there
thousands.
a theory that, like, oh, Reek's got to be?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
866-979-3776. What I need to know. Bump, are you as worried about Reek Woolen as the rest of fans are right now?
I'm more worried about his mental, man. I think because of those two plays and because of how people are getting on him or getting at him, you can fall into a dark place. It kind of reminds me of Salcedo, the Mariners, how he was already kind of in a weird place and then he had that bad outing and people just jumped on him and it seemed like he couldn't recover.
What I need to know, did Clint Kubiak outcoach himself? It feels like he anticipated San Francisco would know his offense, so he changed it from what was effective in practice in the preseason.
No, I think that Salah just had these guys ready and that they picked up on some tendencies and he just didn't adjust dramatically and didn't have the counter punches.
This person was asking if we've seen the new Netflix documentary Unknown Number, A High School Catfish.
You were talking about that, right? Were you talking about that?
Wow. Wow. Have you seen it?
Nah.
That was a twist I didn't see coming.
I heard about the twist, and now I can't bring myself to watch it because it's too sick.
Don't ruin it.
Are you actually going to watch it? Because I really want to tell you what happens.
I'm
not
gonna
going to
watch
say it on
and
air.
there's a bunch of people here or listening that are gonna watch it too.
Okay.
Over for them.
Well, then I won't spoil it for any of you, but please watch this.
Okay.
It is not. It's definitely like PG-13 plus. So don't watch it with your. It's not a family documentary, but I was truly shocked by where it went. All right, you guys, that'll do it for us today. Waiting for some potential updates from Mike Macdonald on Nikki Manwari. That should hopefully come during Wyman and Bob, and they are coming your way next.
28 runs in their last two games.
Home run Geno into the Mariners bullpen. The massive offensive day for the Mariners continue.
The Mariners are back home at T-Mobile Park for the penultimate homestand of the season. And every game matters in the push to the playoffs. Tonight, it's the first of three against the Cardinals. First pitch at 6:40, pregame at 5:30 on the home of the Mariners. Seattle Sports on 710 in the Seattle Sports app. Temperatures are dropping, but you don't have to settle for a chilly home this winter. Keep cozy and safe with energy-saving products during Washington Energy's home heating sale on now. Upgrading your home is as easy as $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 off. Take $1,000 off furnaces, fireplaces, and water heaters. $2,000 off high-efficiency heat pump systems. And $3,000 off whole home generators and ductless mini splits. Plus, free financing. Washington Energy Services, your expert resource for affordable home comfort. Call for a free estimate.
If you're 55 or older and into that whole saving money thing, T-Mobile has an exclusive phone and internet bundle just for you. Right now, get 2 unlimited phone lines plus 5G home internet for just $30 each per month with autopay, plus taxes and fees. And with 5G home internet, setup is easy with just one cord and no technician needed, which is great if you're also into that whole keeping it simple thing. Switch now and experience the best mobile network in the U.S. Visit your local store to start saving. T-Mobile, it's better over here.
Based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data Q4 2024 to Q1 2025, Ookla trademarks used under license. Unlimited on our network. Customers on voice plan may notice speeds lower than other customers and further reduction if using more than 50 gigs a month due to data prioritization. Video streams and SD on this plan. Home internet pricing after $20 in monthly bill credit plus $5 per line without autopay. Debit or bank account required. See 5G device coverage and access details at T-Mobile.com.
For over 113 years, Pacific Lamp and Supply Company has been your #1 lighting specialist in Washington, from the Space Needle in Seattle all the way to the Riverwalk in Spokane. With the largest lighting inventory in Washington, Pacific Lamp's knowledgeable and experienced staff can assist with any lighting issue, including intricate lighting and control designs. Plus, they work with all utilities in Washington to get you the best available lighting rebates. Pacific Lamp and Supply Company, Washington's lighting experts since 1912. Visit pacificlamp.com.
Why is Mazda of Everett the #1 dealer on the West Coast? Mazda of Everett is locally owned and operated for 20 years. They work hard to get you their best deal every time and to make sure you drive away happy. With over 700 new Mazdas, they stock more than anyone in the Seattle area. Find out for yourself why people keep coming back to Mazda of Everett. Take advantage of the Mazda of Everett price during the More to Move You sales event. MazdaofEverett.com. Claims based on Mazda USA inventory and sales reports.
September is Prostate Cancer Awareness Month. I'm joined by Tim Hunter, who underwent treatment in February. Tim, what's it like to go through the CyberKnife treatment?
Well, you go in, you do a 5-day-in-a-row stint. You go to the Swedish hospital, and it's they say set aside 45 minutes for each treatment. It's really only about 35 minutes of that little robotic arm dancing around you. There's no pain involved. It was just too easy.
Treat prostate cancer with Swedish CyberKnife. Go to swedish.org/CyberKnifeProstate.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Do you have a car you want to sell, but you just don't want to go through all the hassle? With all the scams and security risks out there, more and more people just aren't comfortable selling their own car. So how do you get the most money for your used car without having to sell it yourself? Stacy here with the answer. It's Wayscar Ford in Auburn. Not only will they purchase your car and pay you right up front for it, but it gets way better. Once they resell your old car, they share half that profit with you. The question I get most from friends and colleagues is, well, what's the catch? How can they offer this? It's actually super simple. All the money they save by not traveling to buy cars at auctions, like purchase fees, shipping, and travel expenses, is what allows them to offer this. They'd rather share that money they save with you rather than outside vendors. They encourage you to shop around, but look, if Wayscar Ford can pay the same or more as competitors and then share half their profit with you once they resell your car, why would you sell your car anywhere else? They've already shared over $800,000 with their customers, and it's only at Wayscar Ford. WayscarFord.com.